I think it was one of the most emotional races. It's still one of those races that just like breaks your heart and like fills your heart at all at the same time.
1, 2, 3, 4.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to episode 116 of the On the Runs podcast. I am coming to you from my living room couch, and Erica is not here because she is still on her break. I need to renegotiate that contract, so I felt like I needed to bring a sub-in co-host today, and one has been requested multiple times. She has not been on the pod in almost an entire year. Adeline, welcome back to the On the Runs podcast. How are you?
A lot's happening with my life right now. A lot of excitement. So pretty good.
Pretty good. Oh my God, that's right. Okay, why don't we tell people a few things that have happened? Then I have a few Instagram questions for you. And then we'll tell people what to expect coming up. So you've kind of been like the star in a few theater productions, like a pretty big star, not in the main role, but a few of those Palace Theater productions recently. Tell everyone about The Sound of Music.
It was really fun, but I wasn't in a lot of the scenes because, of course, I was the understudy of Gretel, one of the main roles.
Which is so cool and so awesome and so important.
Well, I guess so. But also, I was only basically in one scene, well, not including the Gretel part, but one scene of my another role, Girl in the Pale Pink Coat, one small little song, less than 5 minutes, but it's still pretty fun.
5 minutes would be a really long song. So you had like your scene when you were the girl in the pink coat, you were up there on the front of the stage dancing, you have the smile and the look in the eyes. Like this was big. This whole production was big because not only that's a big role, even though you have 1.5 scenes, but you went to every practice and were the understudy of like one of the main characters, and you learned so much. And I think the director wanted you to have that to learn for next time because maybe you'll get some bigger roles, like some roles with many lines.
Yeah, and I'm also auditioning very soon for the role of Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz at Palace.
I mean, that's a stretch. That's a stretch. She knows, she's smiling and she's putting her head up to the sky like, please, God. That's a stretch. But maybe one day, maybe you could have I think you would make a good Tin Man.
No.
What about the Lion?
No.
What about Oz?
No.
Okay, what are the little people who run? You know what? No. You would be a great monkey. Those monkeys that fly at the end of The Wizard of Oz, you'd be a great monkey.
Well, everybody says that because, I would be able to do flips because I'm flexible, but...
And because you can actually do, like, legit flips.
I just said that.
Yeah, well, you said it was because you were flexible, but no, you can do, because you do so much dance, theater, cheerleading, gymnastics practice. You go to tumbling all the time. Like, you put in the time and the effort, and you're really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, she knows it, guys. She knows it. Okay, so 1 hour ago, we made a little Instagram story post. We're going to get to our interview soon, but, I miss you guys, and I miss talking to you guys. So we did a little Instagram story, Adeline and I, and we asked you to ask some questions. Now, we only did this an hour ago. Looks like we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 questions. Okay, are you ready? 5? That's really good in an hour? Wow, okay. Our first question comes from Coach Watt. I call her Tara Pterodactyl. Are you ready?
Yeah.
All right. Tara Pterodactyl wants to know, what is your favorite song to have a dance party to?
It's actually really hard.
It is a hard question. Erica has the question for every guest, like add a song to our Spotify playlist. And it's a hard question. I tell people, like, it's not a joke. This is a seriously hard question.
Yeah. Well, I have listened to a bunch of new songs lately, but I would definitely pick This Ain't Texas by Beyonce.
This ain't Texas. Da-da-da-da. That's all the words I know. I was thinking you were going to pick some of those dance songs, which are like 5 songs in one song, and the songs keep changing. Like cheerleading has that.
Oh yeah, that's actually like a good. Wait, I forgot about Taylor Swift. I'd probably pick "Look What You Made Me Do" or "Bad Blood" from Taylor Swift.
But are those dance songs? Like when I think of dance songs, I mean, I could think of a ton of old classics, but recently I think of Dance Mode
Oh, from Bluey.
from Bluey.
Yeah. I mean, maybe sometimes, but it's not like my favorite to dance to.
All right, so we're gonna go with "This Ain't Texas." You're gonna do like a line dance, country girl line dance. The country girl hat. You'll look like your Auntie Hannah when she was your age and she was a cowgirl for Halloween. That would be cool. Yeah. Hannah, she's looking at like, oh my God, Hannah was a cowgirl. All right, next question comes from Uncle Scott. You remember Uncle Scott?
Scott.
He did the Ironman races with me.
Oh, him, the funny one.
The funny one, Uncle Scott. You're the funny one. All right, Uncle Scott says, when are you going to stop looking like your dad when he isn't wearing his fake teeth? Ha! Because what are you missing right now?
My 2 front teeth.
And what was I missing last week?
Teeth.
My 2 front teeth, just like you. We looked alike.
What?
So I think Scott wants to know, when are your new teeth going to come in?
We don't know by that. I'm probably going to be singing during Christmas. All I want for Christmas is my 2 front teeth.
I don't know. Hopefully you have them by then. But they look cute. They look awesome. You look like a hockey player.
No, I do not.
Oh my God. We love hockey in this household. All right. Next question comes from Mary. Are you ready? What is your favorite part about being a co-host on the pod? Do you know what a co-host is?
Yeah.
That's what you're doing right now.
I know.
What's your favorite part about this?
Well, I mean, I get to spend a lot of time with my dad, and it gets a big part of me being famous.
Yes. This is the beginning of her being famous, guys. This is the beginning.
It's actually not the beginning.
It's a big part of it. It's a big part in the beginning. Like this will be on all the VH1 behind the music. When that comes out one day, it'll be like, well, she got her start when she was a kid doing plays, gymnastics, and co-hosting on her dad's podcast. All right, next question. Actually, that might be a good time to tell everyone we're going to try to start a podcast for you. Like, we're really going to try to do it.
Yeah, I mean, we have already made the logo. It actually took a little, how long did it take to make the logo?
It didn't take that long. I got some practice, though. So I was kind of good at it by the time we finally did yours.
Yeah, I mean, it looks pretty good. So yeah, if we actually do it and I actually start a podcast, I think you should definitely go and listen to it. I've already planned most of it out. It's gonna be really good.
We're thinking 8 questions with Adeline because she's 8, and this is practice for me to try some new things for Monday Night Media, and that's for more to come because Monday Night Media hopefully soon will have multiple podcasts with multiple hosts. All right, but that's for another time. Next question comes from Patrick. Are you ready?
I don't know.
You don't know who Patrick is, but you will one day. Patrick wants to know, what do you put on your toothbrush first? All right, Adeline. I don't know if you're aware of this, but this has been an ongoing debate. Okay. When you brush your teeth, do you put the toothpaste on the toothbrush, then water, or do you put water on the toothbrush, then toothpaste?
I mean, I think every night I don't think I know. Toothpaste and then the water.
That's the way to do it. Who are these crazy people that put water on first?
Yeah.
Yeah, Erica, we're talking to you. All right, the last question comes in from Kristen. She wants to know, if you could be any leading lady on a Broadway show, who would you be and why? Okay, so you know what she's asking, right?
Yeah.
Okay, on a Broadway show, being the lead lady in a show, who would you be and why?
Well,
Great question, by the way. You understood the assignment, Kristen.
yeah. Well, I mean,
Or at least she knows who you are and what you like to do.
well, here's a couple of ideas with plays I would love to be in. if I was in Legally Blonde, I would really, really rock and do this really good. Wait, what's her name?
Reese Witherspoon.
Wait, who plays the main role?
I think so. Yeah, Reese Witherspoon.
Yeah, I'd love to play her role. I mean, I would probably be as good as she did in the movie. And I'm blonde. Well, I'm going to dye my roots soon, so yeah.
Oh my God, she's 8.
And if it's Wizard, well, I would also love to be in Wicked. I've already seen the Broadway show of it in real life of Wicked, so I really know how much they work in the Wicked show. So I'd probably be Glinda.
Okay, cool. I think that'd be wicked.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be wicked. All right. Speaking of wicked awesome, couple cool things have happened in your life recently. One, we can't talk about so much the name of the show, but you got to go on set with a pretty popular show. We can't talk about the details of this show. You can't tell them the character you were. You can't tell them the name of the show, the channel it's on. When this show comes out, everyone will know. I will tell them. We will tell them. You will come back on the pod and we'll talk about it. But tell them about your whole experience. Like there was just a couple days you had to go down there, get like fitted for outfits and stuff, and then you had a whole day on set, right?
Well, yeah, the time I was at set was for 8 hours, and the drive was an hour and a half, almost 2 hours. So, including the drive, I was probably there for,
It was all day.
well, yeah, all day. So, yeah, I mean, there was a bunch of waiting. Most of it was just waiting. I mean, we were in filming for 2 hours. I was in 2 scenes. So, and I also had the most part where I had to wait was like at the beginning because like there's a bunch of people like in the room, and the people just kept on waiting and waiting, like call someone, waiting, call someone, and I just had to be like waiting for my costume outfit for me to like get changed into it for about 2 hours.
Lots of waiting.
Yeah.
The price of being a star. You have to wait. Be patient. And then when your name is called, it's your time to shine.
Yeah, and then we also had lunch there. But the saddest thing about lunch was they had ice cream. And it was also like really hot out, but they had ice cream. And the rest of it melted, but most of it was just eaten.
Oh.
Yeah. But I mean, the day was pretty good. So I would say, I mean, it's worth the drive.
It was worth it. It was a great experience.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. It's not a TV show kids watch. I'll give you guys that clue.
Yeah.
Yeah, you might get to see your scene. 1 or 2 of them.
Yeah, well, I mean, I tried watching the first show.
Nope, you've said too much. You said, I know what you're going to tell them. You're going to give it away. So we have talked for almost 20 minutes. We got to go right to our guest today. We have this awesome guest, Adeline. Her name is Jennifer Ouellette. And let me tell you, Adeline, I am so happy I got to meet her at Justine's fundraising event last February. And she went running with me and we just chatted the whole time. I can talk. She can talk. This guest appearance was long. She had a dog there. His name was Oakley. He's so cool, but he was a little nervous. He was like, Mom, what are you doing talking to these strangers? But we love dogs, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think Oakley would love us if he got to meet us in person. So guys, I really hope you enjoy our amazing conversation with Jennifer. It was a blast. This was right before Erica and I officially took like our summertime break. And she was awesome. Can't wait to go running with her and the rest of the mathletes one day. And Adeline and I will see you on the other side. So Adeline, tell them, enjoy Jennifer on the pod.
Enjoy Jennifer on the pod.
Our next guest on the pod just ran the Boston Marathon and the London Marathon less than a week apart. She's a local mathlete, and you can find her all over the streets and trails in New Hampshire, and sometimes with her Thunder buddies, Oakley and Sunny. She's our first guest on the pod who doesn't have Instagram, but that doesn't matter because we're wicked excited to welcome Jennifer Ouellette to the On the Runs podcast. What's up, Jennifer?
Hi, guys. How are you?
Good. Thunder buddies for life. I love how he threw
Thunder
that into the intro. That's so fun.
Oakley's very nervous. in life in general, but Thunder really freaks him out. And
Aw.
Sunny's a therapy dog, and really, truly, Oakley's therapy dog.
Oh, I
What kind
love
of
that.
dog is Oakley?
Oakley, he's 9. He's a boxer shepherd. And Sunny is a 14-year-old Chihuahua Pit Bull.
Oh, wonderful. Well, I love your Thunder Buddies already. If they make an appearance, say hi to your dog for me. But that was
Being
quite
really
the-
good, so we won't distract them.
Okay. But that's quite the intro that Eric just dropped. I'm so excited to hear about your Boston to London journey because I love when I meet people who are crazy enough to do back-to-back marathons like me. So I am in very good company today. Welcome to the podcast, Jennifer.
I'm very excited. Thank you.
What I gotta say is I was doing my research. The 100+ guests we've had on the pod all have Instagram, and I just creeped their Instagram, but you didn't have one. And I'm like, how am I going to find out about you? So I go onto Facebook, I log in. I actually had to type the password because I never go on there, and I'm researching, digging through. And then I start sending text messages to people who I know you, multiple people. I'm like, give me the dirt on Jen. And they're like, oh, there is no dirt. She's amazing. She's the best. I go, okay, dirt's a fun word. Give me some inside intel. And then I finally got two people in particular came through and told me some fun things about you. That's how I got the mathletes. I would never have figured that one out. So I'm really excited. But first, like we just met a few months ago. Let's talk about that. We met, was it Justine's charity or fundraising run back in the winter wasn't it snowing?
Yeah, Justine and I were both doing fundraisers, and she was doing hers for Boston. I believe it was for breast cancer, and she was doing a 5K, which was totally awesome. So totally down to run for her and to support her. And my friend Sammy and I decided to do a run beforehand to make it a complete half marathon that morning. So we did 10 miles together, and then we met up with Justine's crowd, and you were there, and we kind of caught you guys as you were already like heading out. So just joined in the group, and we got to run with you, and Nicole introduced us, and it was right from there. It was meant to be, and that's what my grandma always said, what will be will be. And I think that's truly like what happens in life. So
I love that. I remember like I had to run, I think 10 miles that day. I wish I knew you before. I would have done the 10, but you're like, we still have to do another half a mile. I'm like, well, I'm going to click off another half a mile with you, then get in the truck, go home and finish. I think I had 9 more to go, but that was fun. It was a lot of fun. However, one thing happened. You're like, you should join us on Saturdays. And I was like, ooh, what time? You're like 8:30. I'm like, that's perfect. And then I realized how fast you and all your mathletes were. I was like, oh, I might join you in like, let's see how much faster Nicole can get me soon.
yeah, but we run at everyone's pace too. We don't discriminate anyone from running with us. We just like having a group of people, and it started with just like 4 of us, and Jen, and Sammy, who we call Jammy when you run because
Jammy.
in the J name. And that was just the 4 of us, and we meet at 8:30 at different spots in Manchester and Bedford. And at first I was making all the runs, and I would tell the girls, I was like, we're just gonna go out and I would ask them how many miles we want to do that day, and I would pick the course, and I would always say at like the first hill, I'm like, this is the hardest hill we have doing the one. And one, like, I think it was probably like 12 or 14 miles, I made them run Wellington. And as we're approaching it, the girls are always just like, are we at Wellington? I was like, yeah, I think so. And yeah, that was probably the hardest hill I made them do. And it was like in the first half of our training. And I promised I wouldn't do any more hills, and someone else could plan it. And I was opted out of planning runs, and I lied about how many hills and how hard they were.
That's diabolical. I love it. There's no hills. This is the easy one.
Super
Just
flat.
kidding.
There's a run. Lindsay and I are trying to like plan a run together to do some hills. She keeps bailing last minute on my hill runs, but she's like, we need to get Erica to come. We'll tell her it's flat. We'll just be like, oh, just a couple little hills.
At this point, I can handle it. With all the races I've had this past like summer, I can handle some hills. So bring it on, friends. Bring it on.
All right. I got a 13 mile all hills in Manchester. come on down. It's great.
Might as well. Put it on my
One
tab.
thing we have here is hills for sure. I think I'm going to do that 10 miler, and I think you and some other mathletes are doing it too, and that's hilly. I've been loving the hill workouts lately. I know this is dropping after I just crushed Mount Washington, but I've been loving the Mount Washington training, and it's been a blast.
Oh, that's what, like, Sammy was training, so we went out and we did that 10-mile race and the course, and it was killer. We did hill repeat on the last hill, and I wanted to die.
Oh, no.
But we keep coming back for more. It's type 2 fun.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
So we've actually met a couple times since that day in February, and you finally got to meet Erica. Was it the 20 miler?
Yes,
I
it was
believe
the 20
so.
mile. Yeah.
I didn't get
'Cause
to
you-
join you guys during your the February run because I was on the West Coast, and I'm glad we did at least get to meet at the 20 miler. I thought that was really awesome. I think that was my first time meeting Sammy too.
Oh, yeah. We all ran that one. We all carpooled up there. And then one of the Jenna Frieda, she did the half marathon with her identical twin sister, Kelly.
Fun.
And then we have another friend, Karen, who has joined the Mathletes a little bit later, and she ran the half too. And then Jenna Mason, Sammy, and I ran the 20 miles, and it was a great
Crushed it.
training for all of us to crush our marathon. Sammy and I were both training for Boston, and Jenna was training for the May Coast Marathon, I believe, but don't quote me
Awesome.
on that. 100% sure.
Is that Oakley or is that
That is
Sunny?
Oakley.
That's
That is
Oakley.
Oakley. He's
Your
crying.
thunder buddy.
Oh.
He has 8 toys in front of him, and he wants one that's like 2 inches away.
Oh, and he doesn't want to move to get it, probably, right? He's like, "Mommy, get me this toy."
Struggle is real.
Yeah. Yes.
I love that
Now
we
he
got
knows.
someone with dogs, though. It's usually cats.
Mhm.
Oh,
I got one of them with me. Like Maisie wouldn't leave. There she is on the bed. Where is she? Can you
Oh.
see her?
Nice.
No,
Yeah.
she's right behind my mic. Oop. Gonna knock everything over. But she's being nice right now, so I figure I'm gonna leave her there until she starts being annoying. So
does she normally come into the conversation?
sometimes Scooter,
It's
my
usually
other cat,
Scooter.
he's the one who gets real like I want attention, and she will
Hashtag
just
Scooter's
scratch
cooter.
things. Oh yeah.
Oh,
She'll just scratch things and I'll get annoyed. So she's being good. I'm gonna leave her alone.
He's finally got his toy back in reach. He's solid.
Excellent. All right, Jennifer, let's talk about your mathletes here. Is it an actual mathlete? Like I'm thinking like math decathlon kind of competition math. Like tell us more about that. That's so cool.
We just came up with the name kind of as we were running one day because on our long runs we try to break it down. So we're like, all right, we've done a 5K and we have like 5 miles more to the halfway point, and then it's just like another 10K to the finish, and then 2 miles to the cool down.
The runner's math. I love it.
Runner's math.
That is so clever.
The mathlete, Saturday morning mathlete.
So it's the
That's
Saturday
smart.
crew. It's the crew you're telling me about. Okay.
Ah.
So,
So
are
I
you?
could hang out with you guys. I don't think I could hang out with actual mathletes. I am not good at that kind of math, but runner's math is a different story.
Runner's math, yes. So we're breaking down our long runs specifically, trying to stay at a steady pace. We had people that were running at like 9:30s who ended right before Boston doing like 8:30s with us. So we were cutting down people's paces and working. I was really working on my heart rate during that time to stay in like specific zones and like working on my form and dropping the shoulders. This was like Jenna Mason's like always like shoulders back, shoulders down. Remember to start your watch. So we all had our things that we were working on. It was great conversation. It made like 20 miles go by like wicked fast, so we weren't like dragging it all by ourselves. Because for 3 years I was just running all by myself. I did all my training by myself, and then I met my boyfriend Eddie, and he was a runner, so we ran together. And now I have the mathletes, and we just keep adding new people in every Saturday, and it's great. We have our consistent runners, and we have special guests, including like people's dogs and
Oh,
people training for different things. So it's great.
I love
I
it all.
love it.
We're
Mhm.
learning a lot about you really fast. You said one of my favorite words, wicked. So that makes me think you're from around here. But why don't we get the Jen story? Tell us where you're from, what life was like growing up. What'd you do? Were you a runner the whole time, or did you just pick it up? What was? Tell us about Jen. Give us Jen's story.
Okay. I grew up in Merrimack, New Hampshire. I lived there my whole life. I didn't really leave New England. My dad and mom were both very athletic. My dad did coach soccer and run track. My mom played field hockey. She was a cheerleader and played softball. When it came to sports, I chose field hockey and lacrosse, and then I just did running as kind of like my fun activity because I liked running and I was fast and could finish the mile. So those are my main sports. And I also lifeguarded at the YMCA growing up. So I met a lot of my friends through that from multiple different towns and played all different sports. So we were always very active going outside, hiking and camping. But I went to Becker College and I played field hockey and lacrosse there. They didn't have track, but I did run consistently there. Not doing track or anything or even training for a 5K. I never did a marathon or half marathon at that. But field hockey is my number one sport. I still play. I play in a league called Semi-Pro. And we play throughout the winter and we play in summer leagues together. And it's just a group of people, male and females, that have played field hockey like their entire lives or picked it up later in life. And it's like an hour of just field hockey, playing with each other, scoring goals, playing hard defense, and every time I'm playing with them for like some of the girls for like 20 years. And
Wow.
yeah. So that's my number one sport. Becker College, we went undefeated 20 in a row. My junior and senior year. So that's like one of my like things that I'm very proud of. The whole team that we played with. It was really like a comeback story. We weren't like a number one team or anything, but we really played well together. And it was, we were a team. And that's what I remember from being on that team. We supported each other. We really mentored each other and really inspired each other to want to win. My senior year, that final game, we were down. We came back to tie it. We went into overtime, and I just went over to the team, and I was like, I was the only senior. I was like, I'm not losing this game. I've come here to win, and I'm leaving it all on the field, so that's what I entrust you to all do. And the other team got a corner. I was the flyer, and I hit the ball out of the defensive end to our number one forward, and she dribbled down, and I had no gas left in me, and I just watched her score that goal, and I was like, thank God, because like that's it. That's all I had. So that was like my memorable college moment. Lacrosse in college was more of my fun sport. They had just adopted women's lacrosse there, so it was like just trying to get athletes to play. You can probably hear Oakley crying.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, poor buddy.
You're okay. You're okay. And it was just like all fun. We all just played every single sport. Most of the girls really didn't play lacrosse growing up. There's this select few. And it was just like going out there and having fun. And all the schools we really played against, they had just started their programs too. So it was like really good learning. And that's what I really liked about that sport was like learning and showing other girls like what they could love about lacrosse, because it's kind of an intimidating sport if you've never played. Trying to run and catch a ball in a basket, like come on.
You weren't the goalie, were you?
No.
It is
Those
an
people are
intimidating sport just to
crazy.
just watch it. I mean, that ball, like how fast is that ball? Like when you chuck it at like the goal, how fast is that going? Like
I probably wasn't top speed, but I did have teammates that can throw like 90 miles per hour.
Unreal. That is unreal.
I would not want to
Man.
be a goalie in men's or women's lacrosse. Like you don't have pads. Like hockey, you have pads.
Yeah.
Lacrosse, you have like a chest protector and a helmet and gloves. Like that's it. That's all you have. So you play like that little ball doesn't hit you, and I'd rather have it just go in and be like, whoop. Sorry. Nothing in me. In semi-pro.
I would not be a good goalie. I'd be like, yeah, curl up into a ball myself. Just nope, don't hit me.
We always say like no drives in semi-pro. And trust me, I'm like, I have to work when I say I don't need to lose teeth. I wear a mouth guard. There's some girls that don't. I was like, I don't need that.
Ballsy.
Yeah. Before
I love that
Boston,
you still play.
Yeah. I didn't play, so I take a couple months off because Boston last year, I played up until February and I got hit in the foot and I broke my toe.
No.
And I thought I was gonna be able to play all the way up until Boston, and then I broke my toe and I take a step back. So I still ran. It was still like crunchy and wasn't 100%, but I got through it and probably not healed. But who needs to go to the doctor when you know it's a broken toe?
Well, there's not much they can do for you anyways. They just like tape it and stay off it for a little while.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm like,
that's
I
not
need to
gonna
run. Yeah, I need to run. I would ice it and hope for the best is
Was it this past February or the one before?
one before. So I landed in
Okay.
Boston in 2023 and 2024.
All right, we'll get to Boston, but I love
Yeah.
that you still play. By the way, I have 2 goals in field hockey. Mhm.
Proud of you.
I don't think I
In-
even knew that.
In high school, you did like the powder puff games, and all the girls played football, the boys played field hockey. I scored 2 goals.
Ooh.
And
Well done.
I'm a lefty. I grew up playing ice hockey, so I'm a lefty, but I was forced to play righty, and I hated that, but I still scored.
Yep.
So
I had a
not to,
teammate and she was lefty, and she would play like lefty one hand on the other side.
That's really impressive.
I don't get how they made them all play righty. I was like, this makes no sense. It's like such an unfair advantage for someone who's a real lefty. They can't play. Oh, I would just have to be a goalie.
Europeans made up the sport.
Oh, of course,
Blame
of
them.
course.
Nice.
They were probably all righties.
So if you grew up mostly just playing sports, maybe a little track and field for fun, when did you really pick up running? I'm guessing this was after college.
Yeah, so it was after college. I did start coaching. I did coach field hockey for a few years. And then when I came back home, my grandmother was sick. So I decided to take a step back from coaching. I moved back home to New Hampshire to be closer to family.
Oh, where were you?
And I was in Springfield, Mass. I was at Elms
Okay.
College.
Yeah.
And I made the decision that even though it was like 4 hours away, 3 or 4 hours, I was like, it was just too far. So I started looking for jobs that were closer to home. And I worked for Planet Fitness. So I stayed in the fitness realm. And they would do 5K, like they would sponsor 5Ks. And I was like, oh, well, if I got to be there, they were like, we have bibs. Do you want to run? And I was like, sure.
Awesome.
And then I was winning my age group, an overall female. And they're like, we can't give you the prize. And I was like, oh, okay. You work here. I'm like, okay.
Fair enough,
So
I guess.
it didn't really count, but I was just like, oh, I want to sign up for like 5Ks by myself. So I would do like 5Ks. And then a couple of the members in the gym were like training for a half marathon. And I became like connected to them, my friend John. And I was training with him. And we did a half marathon. He's like, go run. Like, I'm just going to do my pace. And so I ran. And he's like, do you know if you ran a marathon at that pace, you would qualify for Boston? And I was like, oh, I knew about the Boston Marathon. I thought you had to raise $10,000 or be like some elite athlete to do it. So I did my research and I was like, okay. And
found
then
out you were an elite athlete.
apparently.
Surprise!
Surprise! My mom was like, oh, she like went on the website. She's like, oh, that's true. Like you could run this fast and you have to run like specific marathons. And I was like, well, I didn't really want to go anywhere just to run a marathon. So I found that the Dairy Cheap Marathon was a Boston qualifier and it was local and it was in a couple months. So I was like, well, and I train for a marathon and a couple friends had run marathons before. So they helped me like with a training plan. And I went to the Dairy Cheap Marathon. I'm super nervous. I was sitting in my car. And a friend that I hadn't talked to in like a decade. He started with me at Hampton Beach in college. And he did ultras and like marathons. And I had seen him at a half marathon recently, part of my training runs. And he's like, Jen, just run 1 mile at a time. Enjoy it. Smile. It's your first marathon. It's going to be amazing. And you're probably going to cry. And I was like, thanks, Dan. And so I went over to the start line. I saw a couple of friends that I knew and I ran. And the Dairy Cheap, if you never run it, you go down and back and down and back on the rail trail. And it was great. It was amazing because that race, unlike half marathons, there's a crowd the whole way. And people are high-fiving you and being like, and I was like, I'm not like my toenails are falling off of my shoes. And by mile 22, I was like, I don't know if I can do this. And I was like, all right, I have 4 more miles. This is it. Just go. I'm like, if I don't have toes, I don't have toes. It's fine. And then I see my friend from high school, Chris, who I've been friends with for over 15 years, holding a sign. And I was like bawling. And I was like, oh my God. And he's like, you can do it. And he starts running with me, takes my fanny pack. And I was like, just keep me under 8 minutes. Just keep me under 8 minutes. So he's just like, go faster. Beat that girl in heels. The one with the orange shoes. Get past her. And then we get to the last mile. And he's like, just go. So I finish. And I get to him. He's like, far enough away. And I was like, oh, okay, I'm good. I made it. And then I went to the backyard brewery part-time, and Kendra, who works there, and Joya, the owner, at the finish line, I'm like, you did it! I was like, I finished my first marathon. And Joya's like, you qualified for Boston! And that was how I qualified for Boston.
That is a surefire way to enjoy marathoning when you know, like, holy shit, I just did this, my first marathon, I qualified. So was this in 2022 that you did
Yes.
this?
Yeah.
So then, all right. And then, spoiler alert, we know that you ran in 2023. So you must have had like a big enough buffer and you liked it enough to want to run Boston. That's great.
I didn't lose any toes, so it's like solid. I can keep
Perfect.
doing this. My feet are okay. I ran in 3 hours and 14 minutes, which is still my fastest
beautiful.
marathon.
Beautiful.
Trying to get back to that pace. And I didn't even know. Like, I cried and I was like happy to do it. And then honestly, I was like, oh my God, I have to do this again. I was like, oh, I only have to do it like one more time if I want to run. Like, that's it. And I registered for Boston. I got in, and I had other friends and they were running for Charities. And I was like, I want to do something good with qualifying. And I was like, what can I do? So I tried to reach out to all these charities. Be like, I don't need to run for a bib for you. I qualified. I would like to raise money for you. And they're like, no. And I was like, okay. So 5 more charities later, 10 more charities later, nobody understood that. I was like, I just want to give you money. Like, can I have like a QR code so I can like donate to you? And they're like, I don't understand. We don't have bibs for Boston. I was like, okay. And then I reached out.
That's so mind-boggling to me that you got turned down. You had your own bib, and yet you still couldn't fundraise for people. Like, that doesn't compute. Usually people would be like, yeah, give us money. Like, I don't see what the problem is.
They kept like redirecting me to their like donation page. Like, yes, feel free to donate whatever kind of money you want. And I was like, okay, thank you. And
it's not the same though. You wanted to put in the work.
Yes. So I reached out to the Red Cross. It took 3 months for finally to somebody get it back to me and be like, I would like to raise money for the Red Cross. And like, would you like to do a blood donation, like fundraiser? And I was like, perfect. Let's do that. I donate blood. So I had 100 people donate blood. And it was amazing. It was very hard work just to get 100 people and the Red Cross to like coordinate everything. And then I decided that wasn't enough. Why don't I do a raffle fundraiser and raise like cash donations and supplies for people that I know are specifically running for Boston Charities and give them each money. And then I found out more people, so I donated more. And I raised over $4,000 in one night at the backyard brewery, and I had 40 to 60 different baskets and gift cards donated.
Oh my God.
And I split it between about 8 different charities that year and just gave it all away. And it was just like, all right, we raised this amount of money. And I just went on to each of individual pages and donated and split it all up through 8 different people.
You are amazing. How did we find you? You found us, whatever it is.
We found you at a fundraising event. Go figure.
You're amazing. That is incredible. Just not even having to and still wanting to. Like, that's really hard to find people who will do that. And I just think that's absolutely incredible.
I wanted to keep it going. So I was like, well, now I want to run for a charity. So that's how I got into London, was through another running friend, Sam, and I'm going to butcher his name, Nugent. Also, don't quote me on his name. And he had run, I think he's done all 6 stars. And I was like, how do I get into a charity for London? Do you have any connections? He connected me with Izzy from Outward Bound Charities in London. And I raised another $4,000 for them doing the same raffle event. But this time I tried to go like across the country to see what companies globally would like donate. I got about 60 local donations from local companies. I went door to door, emailed. I probably harassed everyone 100 times. And then I also got like the massage guns donated. I got like sunglasses donated. I got gift cards to like flower shops and like all these local businesses. And it also worked out because I bartend at the backyard. So like every customer I talked to was like, I'm hosting a fundraiser. Do you own a business? Would you like to come to my fundraiser? And I had stickers made, and I know I gave Eric a sticker.
I was
at
just
my
looking for it. I don't know if you
fundraiser.
could tell, but I was looking for it. It's somewhere in this mess, and it had a unicorn on it, right?
Yep. I actually have it tattooed on me as well. My
Whoa.
friend Louis is an artist, and he designed a sticker for me for my first
What does it
fundraiser.
say on the tattoo? You have words there, right?
Yeah, so it says, "It's okay." I worked with a gentleman at Planet Fitness. He was one of our members. He was one of the nicest members. His name was Faya, and he would come in every day, and he always wanted to help our staff and clean. And he would always tell us it's okay, no matter what we were going through, and like just helping out. And he was one of the nicest gentlemen. So he would help our staff clean and walk around and replace the paper towels with them. And he just made everybody's day happy and enjoyable. He loved music and dancing. And so I got that for him when I left Planet Fitness a few years ago, and got my unicorn from Louis. And not only did I get the sticker made, I got the tattoo. And then another friend, Matt, who owns Blueprint Graphics, they made me a t-shirt for the for Boston. And then I also sold t-shirts as another fundraiser. So a lot of people that were out there along the course had my t-shirt, and seeing them wear it was really cool.
That's incredible. You are amazing.
So back to your first marathon, the cheap marathon. You mentioned your toes might not survive. What was the end result? Did the toes make it?
All the toes made it, and I didn't lose a toenail until this Boston.
Oh, man. So this all happened really fast because that was 2022. That was like when we started this podcast. So your running was kind of like, it's kind of new and fresh, but it seems you've really taken the lead here. You kind of lead the mathletes, and you say, we're going to go and do this hill that turns into hills. And you have all these routes picked out, and you know what you want to do for training. You've like really taken this in and taken the lead.
I don't want to say that like I'm leading the mathletes, because I do think it's like a group together, and we always come up together with like what we're training for, who needs to run what miles this day. And if I don't need to run 10, but somebody else needs to run 10, I'm going to run 10 with them if I'm available. And we have a group chat. So even if they can't make it on Saturday because of work schedules, but they're running on Friday, they let us know to see if anybody else can run. And we've added new people into the group chat too. So it's now like up to like, I think like 6 people. So like anybody can join. And I feel like you have to join the mathletes. You at least have to run with us once to be part of the group chat. So you at least get our personalities in there before you want to hear us chatting and getting memes and everything together. So I do think it's like a group, and that we all just pick everything, and if something's too hard, we cheer each other on, and up Wellington Hill and pushing each other. So that's what we're really there to motivate each other. What I always put on my little hashtag for my Facebook, because I don't have Instagram, is smile for your miles. My mom always read me a poem, and it was smile a while you smile, another will smile, and then there'll be miles and miles of smiles. So that's something that I always had, and it was near dear in my heart. So I always think smile is like just another version of miles. And it's support, motivate, inspire, love yourself, and empower. And if you can do that in 1 mile at a time, you're going to just rule the world.
That's wonderful. Yeah,
I love that.
I resonate with that, because if you're not enjoying yourself and you're just being miserable, like why are you doing it? Like you need to reevaluate the whole point of running and if it serves you. So just trying to enjoy yourself and keeping a smile on your face, definitely it helps.
Yeah, you take less muscles to smile than you do to frown. So even when I'm running, and if I see another runner or walker or biker, I always go, have a great day. And
see, she's friendly too. I find so many people who just don't they want to like tunnel vision and just ignore you. And I'm like, but
well, Erica,
I waved.
She's a morning runner.
Oh,
Is it just the morning?
Wait, are you not a morning runner?
I try running in the morning, and I gotten back into it actually last week. I ran 3 days in the morning, so I'm trying to stay motivated. But I do like running after work. It just kind of like eases everything. If you had a stressful day, you just kind of like walk it away.
That's my jam. Yeah.
So we're in the same boat as you. We love running later in the day, but we're trying to be morning runners, especially me. So the other day, Erica joins me for a morning run, and her observation was, these people are so friendly in the morning. Everybody says hi.
They woke
versus
up on the right side of the bed, and apparently by the time I run in the afternoon, everybody's like grumpy again. So I
The
don't
coffee
know.
is worn off.
Exactly. That
They're
must
just
be
like,
the case.
Don't even look at me. Because we
Makes me
did a run
sad.
like 2 days later in the afternoon, and there was 4 times the people out there, but like
Mhm.
3 or 4 of them gave you nothing. No eye contact. And then the other 1 of 4 maybe gave you an eye contact, or maybe like a hey.
It's very
Hey.
hit or miss in the afternoons. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. I did today on my run get chewed on by a motorcyclist.
Ooh.
They were like
Nice.
laughing as I ran behind. I said, yes, I can do it.
I
How-
do enjoy that.
Let me ask you this question actually, because you're both women runners. Are you okay when someone drives by and they say something like, good job, keep going? Or like, we're talking, you don't know they're coming, a motorcycle or a driver, especially if it's a guy, if they say something to you running. I'm not saying cat calls. I'm just saying any type of motivational thing, like you're doing great or good job, or maybe it's one of those positive, but you can't tell if it's sarcasm type comments. Are you up for that? Or are you like, hey, sometimes don't talk to me? Both
I
of you.
usually
It's a
put my
question for
hand
both
up
of you.
and like say thanks, but like put it up there. The honks are what like irritate me when someone just like lays on the horn. I don't like that because it scares me. But if they like yell something out the window, positive or negative, I can just go thank you. Keep
Yeah.
running.
I'm the same way. I'd like to interpret it as a good thing. Like if somebody's saying something to me, like, hey, nice work, or I don't know what they're even saying, but I would like to think the best of people that they're trying to cheer me on. They may be totally not doing it for a good reason, but I am forever an optimist.
I had a guy one time on the bike. I did a rolling. They actually call it like an Idaho stop sign, because I think in some states on a bike you don't have to come to a complete stop. New
Mhm.
Hampshire's not that state yet, but this guy pulls up to me and starts yelling at me because I didn't come to a complete stop. I did one of those rolling ones. I'm looking.
Mhm.
The word I just use all the time, whether it's negative or thank you, I go, thanks, man. And they don't know what to say half the time.
Yep.
That's my thing. Hey, one thing we all kind of live on now is group chats. Like Erica and I are in multiple group chats. You're talking about a group chat you're in. I need to know, because I can tell you're on an Android, because Riverside tells me you're on an Android. Erica and I are Android people, but I know there's people in your group chat, Nicole, I'm calling you out, who gives us hell for being on an Android, and we ruin the whole group chat. So I just want to say kudos to you, Team Android over here. And do they give you hell too?
They don't give me hell, but they always will like my stuff, so then it just like repeats it over and over again. And I will say it's more like the group chat we're in is like a Facebook group chat, so we can
That's the
see the
best.
emojis. Those are
Yeah.
great.
I like those too.
Actually Eddie's family, I'm in a group chat with them, and they all have like iPhones, so they like and love and laugh at things, and I don't have that option, so I use emojis, and I don't know
Yes.
if they like that or not, but that's what I do.
I am so in the same boat. Like I love having an Android. I am, well, me being a millennial too, I guess I just love emojis anyway. So
Same.
long live those. I'm gonna use them forever.
Okay, so you ran the cheap marathon. You qualified. That's your first marathon. Your toes survived. Then you're training for Boston. You got hurt in February playing field hockey, blocking a shot, saving a goal, something along those lines.
Being
But
badass.
Boston was your second marathon. We're talking Boston 2023, right? The year it rained?
So I did do Bay State in between as a training marathon,
Oh.
and I was doing really well in pacing, and my goal was just to stay consistent throughout the marathon. And then this pacer group comes running through with their orange flag, and it's probably like a group of 20 people, and I'm off to the side, so I'm not like in the middle, but I'm off on the edge of the road. They didn't move over at all, and I fell down an embankment into a bush.
No.
I got all cut up, and luckily one person did stop at the very end and help me out of the bush, but I was like all cut up and scraped, and it was on like the last like half, so it's like a loop, so it was on the last loop.
Yes.
And I did not enjoy that marathon just because of that one incident. And I
I
actually
think
spoke to
those must have been afternoon runners. The
Probably.
non-friendly ones.
No
Yeah.
smiles. Yeah. No
Yeah.
smiles.
No.
Very, like they sounded like an army coming through. And I did finish. I finished 3:24. I was just excited to be done at that point, and
That's fast.
just
3:24 and running into a bush.
Yeah, and taking the bush with me.
Not
yes.
the typical type of run into a bush. This was falling into a bush.
Mm.
Yeah. But yeah, that was my second marathon. And that's when I was just like, oh, one more and that's it.
Really? Okay. And so obviously we know that wasn't it, but then it was Boston and you got hurt in training. So how was that whole wintertime training, getting hurt, dealing with this probably the first time ever?
Winter training in New England is brutal enough. But running on a toe that's not 100% and knowing that like I can either stop now and not do it or just keep going. And that was my goal. Just keep going, run the miles that you can. I have very nice friends, Taylor and Brandon Wooten, and they donated me a treadmill that they weren't
Ooh.
using. And it fits perfectly in my guest room, so there is no floor space. And it bled right in there. And I was able to train on the treadmill and do some like sprints, because running on a treadmill, mind you, I don't have a TV in there, so it was just like staring at a wall. And
It's a good mental battle.
yeah,
Really?
so I would try to do an hour if it was like bad weather out and icy, because I live on a main road. To get out there, if they didn't shovel or plow it, I wasn't going out there. So
Yeah, you
down.
don't want to risk that. No, that can be dangerous.
So 1 hour every night on the treadmill.
What toe was it?
It was my left big toes.
Ah,
The big toes or the pinky toe? Those are the worst to hurt.
Yes.
The middle one you can do without. You can like cut those off. You'll be fine.
Yeah.
And you'd be
My grandma
surprised.
lost a toe for diabetes, and
Oh.
shoot, I was asked the little manicurist if she would get a discount.
that's a great
would-
sense of humor.
I love it. I love it. So how was the Boston Marathon then? I mean, the weather wasn't terrible. I know it rained, but we were there. We were cheering at mile 19 and we didn't know you then though. That's too bad.
I did see you guys, and I knew you guys were a podcast, and I would try to catch you on Facebook, and I have you on Audible. So I do listen.
The first year.
Hey!
Wow, so you've been following for a while. Oh my
Yeah.
God. And
And-
Erica, she follows our Facebook page that we never do anything on. It's
You
amazing.
you post it. I like it. I'll listen. Especially because I knew a
Thank
lot.
you.
Like, it helped me with training and staying motivated. Boston 2023 I was hyped. I was ready to go. The expo, I went down and did the 5K with Nicole and Blake. And then they were so kind, and Justine was there. They walked me over to the expo to get my bib. And I was just like in awe. I had never like been to anything like that. And basically it was like holding my hand. This is where you go to get your bib. Like, take a picture of us here, Jen. This is the wall. And I had already bought in every Boston apparel online before, so I didn't have to go to the store.
Good.
But it was like the
Smart.
coolest things that I had ever done. Just being in there, finding my name on the wall was like really memorable, because normally my name's spelt wrong with everything. So I was pumped that my name was spelt right. So that was
Good.
awesome. And then my parents have a house in Totem Pole. So shout out to all my totem polers in Freedom, New Hampshire. Joni and Tom, they live outside of Hopkinton, like 2 miles from the start.
Ooh.
That they were so kind to host me for the night before Boston and then bring me as close as I could the morning of the marathon, so I didn't have to stand outside or wake up at 5 and take a bus. So
I'm
I've
writing
never
this
done
down when I run Boston. Stay with
Joni,
Jennifer's
Tom.
friends.
They would be more than happy to host everybody and anybody. That it was amazing. So it was raining, but I was so energized. I had my poncho on. I was ready to go. Joni left me with the nice police officer at the closest gate that she could, and I walked in, and just seeing the crowds was amazing. And the number of porta potties, I was like, wow. There's one for everybody, but there wasn't. That was really cool. Like just the start, and everyone was so excited. Whether the weather was like raining or hot, they were just like there to run and cheering you on, and just crossing that start line was amazing. Joni took me down the night before so I could physically stand on it, touch it, see it. The security guard at night was amazing. He was trying to figure out my phone as an Android, trying to take a photo.
It's not
Which
that
was
hard,
hilarious.
people.
Not that hard.
Don't judge us from the color of our text. It's not that hard.
It was so fun though, and I was ready. I had done my research, talked to people that have run it, talked to people that were training for it, like take it easy down the hill, just enjoy it. My goal was at every mile, film a little video and savor it so I could like just keep it in a capsule that I did this. And I knew Eddie and his family were going to be at mile 15. I had people along the way that I had mapped out that they said they were going to be in areas, but I knew specifically where Eddie was going to be because he had shown me.
Mhm.
And I had my best friend Taylor and her kids were supposed to be at like mile 6, mile 8. So I'm looking for them. They missed me. I missed them. That was really
Aw.
sad. But we'll go back to them later because I do have a really cute story about them seeing
Yeah.
me. And just seeing people that I didn't know were going to be there and they were like yelling my name and like that was like amazing. And that 2023 I didn't have my name on my shirt because I didn't know that was a thing.
Mhm.
But
Fun
people that
tip, I
knew
love
me
it.
were cheering me on. That was really cool. The clouds just like I was just in awe because it was raining out and cold and that kind of weather I loved, which I didn't love before I started training for a marathon, but knowing that kept you night. And then mile 15, I was so excited. My parents were there, and Eddie and his mom and Shayna and Matt, they were all there at mile 15. And I was so pumped. I was like running up to them and people that like didn't know me, they were cheering and ringing bells and it was amazing. I like timed it. I was like, I can only stay for 5 minutes and then I gotta go.
That's a long time.
That is a long time.
I didn't stay 5 minutes, but I knew my mom wanted to take pictures, so I was trying to give her something.
There you go.
So, and then they met me, Eddie and his mom, at the finish line. So I knew they were going to be there. My parents went home because of the weather. And I'm coming to the finish, and I just hear someone screeching my name. And I was like, oh my God. It was my friends Casey and Jess from the backyard. And they had spent all day at the finish line. They popped a bottle of champagne when I made it to the halfway point. I saw their Snapchats later. But they were filming me. I was filming them. And I come across the finish line. And that's when WMUR had panned. So there's me in my bright pink and blue hat coming across the finish. My dad happened to be in the hospital that day, so he couldn't be at the race. So him and the nurses were in his room, and they're like, the backyard had me on every TV. I had friends that I hadn't like seen in person from like high school and college, like sending me videos of it. So that was probably the coolest thing because that's like 1 in like 5 million to like happen that to come
Right.
across the TVs. And I was like dead center. They like zoomed in on me. Like I was that crazy girl with a giant smile on her face because my mom asked me at mile 15, do you know you're the only one smiling? Everyone looks miserable. Why are you so happy?
Because it's Boston and I did it.
I did it. I like got my bucket list. It was amazing. I finished 3:24. I was so excited because I knew that qualified me again to run for 2024. So I was like, whew, I did it. I can do it again. And because I was just so excited to run again.
I love how your attitude already changed where you were from the first couple of marathons. You're like, oh, I have to do this again. And now you're like, I get to do this again. It's awesome. The flip. It's great.
She's turning into Maurice. You know, Maurice is like, we get to do this.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I love it.
Positive
that is
panda.
high, man. That
Yes.
is high.
It's real. It is a real thing.
And I don't think I truly, honestly, never felt it until Boston. And I don't know if it was the crowds or just like it was Boston, but like I felt it. I was like riding on cloud 9, and it was like a month later I was still riding it.
Oh, it's all of the above. Boston is its own entity.
We'll get into Boston 24 and London soon, but I want to know, you've mentioned Eddie a couple of times, and I know there's a love story here, and we've had a few people share their love stories on the pod before that happen to just be they meet at a race or at a run, and I think you met Eddie at an event. I wore the t-shirt for it. Reach the beach.
Ooh.
Yeah. So I was running a Reach the Beach ultra, and we needed one of our runners, Crystal, she got injured, and we needed another runner. So I was reaching out to everybody, and I was like, I need a runner. They're like, no, I'm never doing that. What? Sorry. I'm already on a team. Can't help you. And I just happened to message my scientist, and he's a friend that had met my neighbor Casey out hiking, and it was a one-time meet, and they became friends. And then Chris came to Casey's house for a fire. I happened to be here. He's like, oh, I'm a trail runner. And I was like, perfect. So I reached out to him, and I was like, hey, I know you don't run a lot of roads, but do you want to run a Reach the Beach Ultra? He's like, oh, I totally would, but I'm in Colorado that weekend. However, my childhood friend Eddie was a runner, and I think he would be perfect for your team. So here's his information. Message him on Facebook. He'll get back to you. So I message Eddie on Facebook. I'm like, hi, my name's Jennifer. I'm looking for a team member for Reach the Beach Ultra. Would you be interested? And his response is, no. And then a few hours later, I'm not on a team. Good luck.
Very succinct.
Yep.
Okay.
Like, would you know any other runners that would be interested in running an ultra? It's a mixed team. We're just in it to have fun. And he's like, I'll ask around. I was like, okay.
Oh my God.
So he gives me like another name. I reach out to them and they're not interested. I end up finding someone. Eddie did ask me a couple more questions, like, "Oh, I noticed you're a runner," and like, how did how like all about running.
Eddie
and, like,
realized he
reach.
screwed up by just the one word answers
one
or
word
being
no.
a little, short. He
to
finally went
redeem
creeping your
himself a little
profile and
bit.
he goes,
Yeah.
"Oh man, I screwed that one up."
She's a real runner. Because I said it's fun. Like, not to scare people away from a Reach the Beach Ultra. So we started talking about like running and training for Boston. He's run Boston multiple times as a bandit. Don't get him in trouble. He's a bandit runner. And he's run New York and Chicago as actually Eddie, not as a bandit. And we just started talking, and then Reach the Beach came, and I knew his team name. And I don't think he knew my team name, but I saw him from a distance. It was actually at Camp Calumet, which is 2 miles from my parents' house in Freedom. So they were there holding up signs. And I saw him, and my friend was like, go talk to him. I was like, oh, no, I'm good. And so I found his van because he happened to park next to it, ironically. And I wrote on the side with passenger window, and I was like, hi, Eddie, it's Jennifer. Have a great race, with like a little heart. And then his whole
She
team
made the
teased
first
him.
move.
His team teased him for the whole time. And then he finally reached out and was like, oh, would you like to go like on a date? And I was like, yeah, what would you like to do? Would you like to go on a hike? And like out for dinner afterwards or something?
I like his style.
So I planned a hike at Uncanunic in Goffstown.
Mhm.
And then we were going to just go downtown for dinner afterwards. And I texted my mom, like, Mom, I'm hiking Uncanunic with this guy I met online.
Gotta be safe.
A couple hours.
I'm gonna turn my tracker mode on Strava
Smart.
here on my Garmin, and I want you to
Smart.
track me.
Yeah. And the sun set really fast because it was like fall at this point. So we're up and on Uncanunic, and I knew how to get up and like down in the light time, but I've never done it really in the dark before. But he's a good navigator. He's an Eagle Scout, so he found our way down, and we went out to dinner in downtown Manchester, and he's from Andover, Mass. And we go out there, and I told him, like, oh, we're parking at Veterans Park. Going to Substation. I was like, wait for me to get out of your car. And he was like, there's a lot of homeless people in this. So I walked over to Pepsi Machine. He's like, there are a lot of homeless people in this. I was like, yeah.
Yeah, true. Yeah,
Yeah, we're not as bad as Florida or California.
true.
Yeah, so it was like a culture shock, I guess, from Andover, Mass. to Manchester, New Hampshire. And it was all history from there. We went on a couple more dates. We did virtual dates kind of like this, having like, we cook our own dinner and then like just chat on the phone, like how our days were and everything for a
that's
while.
cute.
And we would meet up at runs, and we introduced our dogs. He has a border collie named Sonic who runs with us a lot, and he would plan my training runs for me for Boston for my long run. Sometimes he would bike next to me to keep up. And
If the dogs didn't get along, was it not going to work out?
Deal breaker.
it was because Oakley is a kind of an aggressive dog, especially food wise. We do have to still separate them for food, but Oakley liked Eddie because I told him, I was like, let him meet you first and he'll smell like Sonic on you. And then when we introduced Sonic, Sonic's very playful and kind of passive, but he also likes to bop other dogs in the head. It's already just blessing them because it's sometimes hold it on their head and bless them. And they got along perfectly. Oakley will tell him he's had enough. But they're good. They're really good together. So
Awesome.
yeah. My favorite run Eddie has planned was in Boston. It was 16 miles, 8 miles out over the hills, Heartbreak Hill and back. And I tell him, I want to do 16, 18 miles. So at mile 15, he's like, oh, is this good? I was like, let's go to the next light, up there. He's like, okay. So we took by the next light, which was a mile away, and turned around. And afterwards, we met up with some of his friends. He plays Ultimate Frisbee, and they lived in the city. So they went out to lunch with us afterwards. We actually, on the run, saw my friend, Rihanna Roberts. She was training for Boston, and she's yelling across 2 lanes of traffic, "That's for Jane! And I run. I just beeline it to her, and he's like, "Oh my God, we're gonna die!" And she came out to brunch with us, and we made that a tradition. We ended up doing it this year again. And Sammy Preventer came with us, and Ree was running that day with her charity again. And we saw her, and we all went out for brunch again. So it was really fun. So it's kind of our new tradition to run Heartbreak Hill down and back, and then have brunch. And I'm always pre-planning in my head during runs what I'm having for food.
I think you invited me to that run.
I think so. We did.
That was because it was right after when we met.
Yeah.
Wait, why
That's
didn't
right.
you go? What were you doing?
Yeah, it's probably something with the kids.
Yeah, I think you had something with the kids. Yeah.
Yeah.
You missed out on an awesome run and brunch.
Don't do it again. I'll tell you where I wasn't. I wasn't in a hockey rink because that doesn't happen anymore. Oh, no, I was.
You did. It was the end of finals or something.
I had the state championship game.
Yes.
Yes. I remember this very well now. You told me the date and I said, I'll be there unless I get the state championship game because I was hoping I would, and I did.
And then he gets a state championship. It figures.
And it might have been my last game. We'll see. I don't know. I might take a leave of absence this year. It's been fun. But damn, my life is freaking busy. I can't believe I got the state championship game. You want to know why? I looked at my, I had to pay my dues the other day, and it goes based off how many games you referee. And so I didn't really have to pay a lot, $95. But I only refereed 21 games this year. That's so low.
Way down from what you've done in the past.
I used to do 400 a year.
Whoa.
But that's when I did high school and college and men's league and other stuff.
Yeah.
This is the first year I went just high school on Wednesday nights. I only did 21. So I don't even think I barely made the amount you need to get playoff games, let alone the state championship. And I still got the state championship game.
They wanted you. They wanted you.
Playing favorites.
It was almost an upset. Oh, man. But we had no issues. It was a good game. I got to skate at the Verizon again. I still call it the Verizon, even though it's the SNU. I don't think I'm done, but I'm definitely 10 games a year. Maybe I try to get playoffs again next year. I don't know. I keep saying I'm done, and then I don't know.
Really
but it's nice
I'm
to get a
keeping my
little
skates
extra
sharp.
income, right? Yeah.
No, it's not even worth it anymore in my mind.
Really?
It's just to
No?
do it for the pure joy. The
All right.
income was great when you did the men's leagues and the extra stuff, and it would be like doing your pro-am league or whatever you do for field hockey, right? You have referees there, I'm sure.
No, we ref ourselves.
No. Oh, no way. I would
That's
go.
even more fun.
I bought both of my cars with men's league hockey money. So that's where the money was at. I would go and do it by myself. I'd get paid double, and then I would make it like the high school games, $100. Cool. But it's a lot of time, right? It's just a lot of time. So
True.
College, by the way, a little more money, not even worth it. Not even close. You're gone for 8 hours to make $150.
You got to drive pretty far to go to those games.
I would be gone. I would leave and drive 3 hours to get to a game 90 minutes early, to do a game that goes 2.5 hours, then to drive 3 hours back.
That's a long day.
It was fun though. I got coffee thrown at me one time. It was amazing. It almost hit me. Yeah, it was amazing. We waved off a goal with 3 seconds to go in overtime. This huge rivalry game in Maine. It was Colby versus Bowdoin, and that's like a big deal up there. We waved off a goal on the home team, Colby, with 3 seconds to go in overtime, and someone hucked like a big gulp coffee or something, and it went right between me and my partner's face as we were talking. And I was like, I don't know if we're going to get out of here alive.
Oh, no. Hide.
I worked the penalty box in college and did the stats for both men's hockey and men's and women's basketball. And
Yep.
the penalty box and stat box was in between both penalty boxes. So I would just have to move and open the box for them. I don't know why they couldn't just lift the handle themselves, but I was there.
Because they would
And-
cheat.
Yeah.
They would cheat and get out too early. And so it was your job to make sure the door doesn't open until that 1 turns into a 0.
Oh, it wasn't even that I had to open it for them to get out. It was to get in. They couldn't get in. I just had to look at them and be like, wait.
Yeah.
It was, I think it was a rivalry game. I think it might have been Nichols. And we had I feel like 2 lines in the penalty box. And then somebody said something and they started coming across my scat box. And one of the boys just picked me up and was like, no, you're over here. Okay.
Thank you.
Hockey players, the nicest guys off the ice, but on the ice, man, we are brutal.
Oh, yeah.
We would even go at it as the referees. We'd go back and forth. That was some type of respect. They would take it from us too. If they were giving us shit, we would give it right back. And it just seemed to be they respected you better when you did that. I did a lot of shit talking as a referee.
My
Gotta make it
stepdad
fun.
refs and plays. I don't think he refs anymore, but he still plays in a men's league. And when we were younger, he would bring us that night because my mom was working, and so he would bring us and we'd wander the rink. And he's like, "Now put your earplugs in because don't tell your mother what's going on." And I'm like, "Okay."
I love it.
We got a little derailed here. Let's bring
Sorry,
it
not
back into the
sorry.
run. I can't contribute to the hockey talk as much as you guys can. But let's talk about your 2024 Boston experience. But one question I have, after you ran Boston the first time, did this kind of plant the seed where, hey, I think I might want to do the 6 stars. I might want to go to London. So you had that in your head before going into your second Boston?
Oh, yeah. I had it before I even ran Boston because I didn't know it was a thing. And then Eddie told me it was a thing. And I was like, oh, I can get a bigger medal? Well, I need a bigger medal because I did the BAA medley. And so I did the 5K, the 10K, and the half.
Yes.
And I didn't know you got something if you won it too. So I won my age group and I got a little wooden plaque thing mailed to me. I didn't know that I did that. And I get this package in the mail. Mind you, I order several things on Amazon every day, but that's okay. I was like, what the heck? And I point out this wooden plaque, you won your age group. And I was like, oh, that's really cool. And they give you a medal.
Best surprise.
Yeah. And so I was like, oh, if I could get a bigger medal, then I'll take it. Because doing the 5Ks when I worked for Planet Fitness and afterward, when I moved, I was like, why do I want to keep moving these stupid medals around? So I chucked them. I don't have any medals training for marathons.
Mm-hmm.
So now I'm trying to savor my medals, and it's not even I do try to go out and beat my time and in some of the races locally, and it's not trying to race anybody else. But I want to beat my time if I ran it previously.
Mm-hmm.
So that's always my goal. And if I know someone's in my age group, I do try to pass them.
Very nice. Yeah, you got the
Strategy.
speed. You got to use it. Absolutely.
Yes. But once Boston ended 2023, I was like, okay, let's take a little breather. Let's get through the holidays. I still enjoy running, but I don't need to put in as much mile. And then start planning it once the holidays are done. Right before Christmas, there is a race at the backyard. It is an Ugly Sweater Tito's race, and I've done that.
Yeah.
And I've won my age group for the past 3 years. Well, the year before, I did not. Some girl out of nowhere came and beat me, and I was like, I'm coming back for vengeance. I'm winning this race. So I trained, and I did a lot of sprint training because it was 4 miles. So that was my goal, was to sprint it out 4 miles. I knew the route. I knew what to do. And the DJ saw me, and he knew who I was. And he was like, oh, Jennifer Ouellette, return for vengeance. You going to win this year? And I was like, yeah, buddy, I am. And he kept saying it over and over again. And so I was ready. I was ready to haul it. And now Eddie was there with Sonic. It was Sonic's first race. So we were there to cheer him on. And I was like, I'm leaving you. I'm winning this race. And he was like, okay.
Have at it. Mm-hmm.
Yep. And I practiced my splints. I ran as fast as I could, and I did win my age group. So that put me for the rest of the year, all right, I know that I can run faster than I thought. And I was like, I'm going to crush Boston this year. I'm going to go under 3:20. That's my goal for Boston. And that's what I was training at.
Yeah.
And I did Mill City with Nicole, and she was introducing me to all these people, and I met Amanda, who's very fast. And she introduced me to our relay teammate, Sammy Preventure. And Sammy and I are talking, and she looks really familiar. And I was like, I probably just saw her at other races. Come to find out, we're from the same hometown. We're 4 years apart. We knew multiple friends. And she also was training for Boston. She qualified, and she lives in Bedford. I was like, well, let's go out. I have a couple friends training for marathons. Let's all try to get together. Saturday mornings. I bought 10 Friday nights, so I would prefer if we didn't do anything before 8 a.m.
That's fair. Yeah.
And they were very accommodating to accommodate 8:30 for me, depending on how late I got back. And that's
it's a nice time slot.
Yeah, it's still early enough. You could get stuff done in the day if you have to do long distance. And we started running together, I want to say mid-January, maybe right after the new year is when we all started running together and training for marathon. Because Jenna Mason was training for Maine Coast, Jenna Friedis was training for an ultra, and then Sammy and I were training for Boston. And it was just perfect timing. We started our training. I would do my fast miles during the week, trying to really work on that speed, and then slow it down so I could pace with the girls and just work on that consistency and slowing my heart rate down for those longer distances.
Mm-hmm.
And training was going great. It was feeling good, and I had a lot of stomach issues since the holidays, and that was my biggest downfall. I don't know what was going on. I just felt like my stomach was always upset, very bubbly, and I just never felt really that great. And I thought I was over it, and it just kept coming back. Every once in a while, I was like, oh, I just feel like crap. I just won't eat this or that, and trying to change the diet, and
yeah,
I couldn't figure it out. And I was like, well, I'm just gonna push through it. Just push through it. It's fine. I'm gonna be fine. Why go see a doctor you haven't been since 2013? You're still alive.
Yeah.
Don't tell my mother. And I had Sammy's first Boston, so I was so pumped from her. Her mom's an amazing runner and has done Boston, and Sammy's done Chicago and New York. So she was trained and ready to run. So we were training. We were doing some speed workouts during the week together at that point. Comes for the expo. Eddie and I took Sammy to the expo. It was great to see it again, and we got to go slower and just enjoy it, take pictures everywhere. Eddie was our paparazzi taking pictures of us. We went to the Sam
Nice job,
Adams.
Eddie.
Yes. He is so good at when I want to take pictures and videos when we're running. And if you need to know anything about Eddie's life, I make his social media.
Perfect.
All our activities I post. His family and friends are very grateful that they'd like to know that Eddie does stuff now. And he was so good. He stopped at every booth. He held our bags. It was amazing.
What a good man.
Yes. And he drove too. So we drove.
Even better.
A couple miles away because Sammy and I wanted to because we didn't sign up for the 5K, but we still wanted to get some miles in that day. So he's like, all right, well, on there, that's fine. Just jog to the expo and back. And then everyone got talking about they're not putting the bottle openers in the bags anymore for the runners. You have to go to Sam Adams. So we went to the car, and he's like, all right, girls, are you done? And we're like, would you mind driving us to Sam Adams? In Jamaica Plain. And he's like, sure, why not? We can have lunch and go to
Since
the room.
we're here, let's go.
So I don't drink. I typically do not drink, but I was like, I'll go with you. We have our bibs. We know we get a discount there. So we went. They gave us 50% off to all of us for the tour. And we did the tour, and Sammy and Eddie had some beers. I wanted to taste the mild 26 beer, and I had a couple sips, and that was it for me. So we had lunch. It was a great day. We got our bottle openers, we got t-shirts, and Sammy and Eddie bought a case of beer, and it was just a great day to end before the start of the marathon. and I felt really good. I was ready to go stay with Joan and Tom again. Eddie and my best friend Chris from growing up drove me down. We stopped and we saw the Spencer statue. If you haven't seen it, it's super adorable.
Spencer
We got
the
all the dogs.
dog.
Yeah, we did a photo shoot with all 3 dogs and Spencer before we went to Joan and Tom's, and it was great. I had been keeping an eye on the weather, and because it kept just saying it was getting hotter and hotter, and I was like, we haven't seen heat since August, and so I was like, oh God. And
Throws
my
a
stomach
wrench
doesn't
in it,
do
right?
It was
well
a
in
great
heat.
day for spectating. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was great. Like I was like, I wasn't cold at the start line. I was like, this is awesome. And my stomach was like, okay, you're doing good. You're doing good. I felt really good at the start, cruising for like 12 miles, doing like 650, 710 pace. I'm going fast. I feel good. My legs feel good. Mile 12 hits. And I was like, oh no. Oh no. My stomach. I do not feel good.
Oh
And I was
no.
like, I have 3 miles till Eddie. He has some extra water, has a couple extra electrolytes. I'll just take that when I get there. My best friend Taylor and her kids are there cheering me on so they know they can see me. And I get there and I'm like, move it, children. I'm gonna throw up.
Oh no.
And they just want a picture. And they're like, Auntie. And I was like, I'm going to throw up on you. I'm really sorry. And I go in a bush and I throw up for like 20 minutes. Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah, it was like everything and anything I had eaten. Like throughout the race, I tried like taking like some UCAN, which is like one of the only gels that I can take that doesn't upset my stomach. And everything was out of me. Eddie's mom is a nurse and she's looking me over like, are you sure you want to keep going? And I was like, I want to finish. Like, I don't care what my time is. I just want to finish. She hands me a handful of blueberries. She's like, well, eat a couple of these and have some water and I'll let you go. And I was like, okay. So I do. And my mom's texting Eddie, texting Chris, texting Taylor, like, what is wrong? Why isn't she going? Something wrong with the app? And they're like, she's okay. She's just not feeling that great. My mom thought I got hurt or something because I just like died.
Yeah, the
And
tracker. Yeah. That's, oh man.
so I just made the promise to myself to not push it because I still had London. And I was like, all right, I'm going to jog to the water
Yeah.
station, take a little sips of water. I'm also one that carries my water with me in these 2 little water bottles. And I usually take those and that's good for the race. But I was like, all right, sift the cold water, take the cold towels from everybody. And seeing that everybody was not doing well was also like, oh, I'm not the only one out here.
It definitely
And-
wasn't you. Yeah.
And then when a girl like beelined it across me to like throw up onto the crowd, I was like, okay, just keep going, just keep going, just keep going.
Oh, no.
I'm gonna finish. And that was my goal, was just to get to the end. And when I saw, when you come around, you can see the finish line, I just sprinted, took out my camera because I wasn't even in the mood to film every mile at this point anymore. I just wanted to get done. But I wanted that end. I was like, I want it. I started filming and I see Eddie, I see my friend Jenna and her twin sister Kelly. I see Corey Gerard up in the stands. I think I'm like hallucinating because I was like, oh, these people could not be here. Like, why are they all here? It was just like I was crying because I was finishing and it was done. I felt much better. I didn't feel as like gross and throw uppy, and I was just happy to be done. If you don't know Boston and the finish line, you're not done when you finish Boston. You still have like a mile to still walk to the end to your family, and then they have to find you. So we always meet at O because that's my last name, and I was like, that's so far.
Oh, no. Yeah, you're so exhausted at that point after the whole ordeal. Oh my gosh. And then they just tack on, why not do the 27th mile?
Yes.
Here you go.
Here's your tin foil, here's your medal, here's a water. They're looking at you, making sure you're not gonna pass out. I see Blake, he's one of the volunteers at the finish. He gives me a hug and I was like, I just need to find Eddie. And he's like, okay. Over there. Walk down. I find this nice family to like walk my stuff so I can use the porta potty because they're waiting for somebody. And then Eddie, Chris, and Eddie's mom come out, and I have this flag that I've bought into all my fundraisers, and everyone signed it with like well wishes on it. And it's something that I, for the last 2 Bostons, I just take a picture with. And Eddie's like, do you want your flag? Take a picture. I was like, yeah, I do. Because I'm done. And Sam, I couldn't find Sammy, but I found Sam Nugent, and he was there, and he was like, you did, great job, you're done. I was like, I want to find it done. That's all I wanted. And I think it was one of the most emotional races, but I'm very happy to do it again in 2025. And it was just like, it's still one of those races that just like breaks your heart and like fills your heart at all at the same time. So
many emotions. Oh my gosh.
One thing that has to happen next year in 2025 is we have to see you, because there's 2 years now we haven't. Now, the first year we didn't know you, but you knew us.
Yeah.
This last April, we were tracking you and we were looking for you. And whenever, like, what mile was it that you threw up at? Was it 15?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're 4 miles later. Somewhere we lost you on the tracker and we're like, don't know where she is, and we missed you. I think we missed 3 people of like the 20 something we tracked, and we were like, no. But then we thought we've only really met you once or twice, so we didn't really know what to look for. We're just like, look for someone who's really fast, and start yelling Jen. Start yelling Jennifer, and someone's gonna be like, it's me.
That's what happens. We give him a megaphone and he's just gonna yell names.
I got the megaphone. I just started yelling everyone's name I saw.
I was just so in the zone too. Like, you could have probably like yelled my name, and I was like, just keep moving forward. Just keep moving forward. Don't throw up.
That was Justine. We saw Justine. We yelled Justine's name probably 8 times, and then when she's 30 feet ahead, past us, she actually turns around like, was someone calling my name? Oh my God, it was you.
Yep.
So next year we have to make sure we'll have a cooler with whatever you want. If you'll be a little more experienced, you might know what you need next time you have an upset stomach or something, or you're gonna puke. Hopefully you don't.
I know.
But we got you covered.
Yes. I think I have my stomach under control, but who knows? We'll have it on race day. But I had it all in control for London. And I was very nervous because I did lose a toenail in Boston, my first toenail, and it was hanging on for life. And I was, and I was like not about to rip it off. I was like, oh, I'll be fine. So I like taped it up, and we left Wednesday night. So I worked remotely Tuesday and Wednesday because I knew I didn't have enough PTO for the entire year. I had to like capitalize on working remote. And we flew out Wednesday night, red eye into Iceland, did 6 hours in Iceland, walking around Reykjavik with no toenail, and my shoes would not fit. So I had to wear my slippers, my moccasins.
Oh no.
My feet were so swollen. And we backpacked it. So my backpack was probably weighed 100 pounds on me. We did that. And then we jump on a flight from Iceland to London, land in London around 8. We get to a hotel. I apologize. Oakley is just a mess right now.
Poor
when I do the name of this podcast, it's going to be Jennifer, Ouellette, and Oakley.
Just crying. I keep giving him toys, and I don't know what he wants.
We love we're dog lovers, or at least I am. I love dogs.
I love dogs. I just don't have any dogs.
Hey, there she is. Oh, there's both of them, Oakley and Sunny.
Yeah, Thunder Buddies. Thunder Buddies.
Thunder Buddies for life.
Yeah, he's just a very emotional dog. But yeah, we land in London. My feet were so swollen, and I was very worried that my running shoes wouldn't fit, and I would have to run in my moccasins.
Well, you've had very little time at this point from between Boston to hopping on a flight to allow your body to recover. So that's a lot of stress. And I could see how, plus getting on a plane right after running a marathon, that's so much like the swelling does add up after a while.
Are you a marathon maniac, by the way?
I wouldn't say that.
Well,
Technically,
Erica, tell her what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
The Marathon Maniacs, it's a club, and you qualify by doing 2 marathons within like 16 days or 3 of them within 90 days. So with your back-to-back marathons, you definitely qualify.
Okay.
And basically this club, you'll recognize them everywhere. People will wear singlets and it'll say Marathon Maniacs on it. And you get some perks for being in the club. You get like race discounts and like Runner's Warehouse discounts. So like there's little perks here and there, but it's just fun to be part of a club. Like one of the crazy ones,
for it.
Yep. So
now I'm gonna have to research it and get into it.
It's fun. There's a lot of cool people.
Yeah. I love the perks. I don't get a lot of perks from not being on Instagram. So I have friends that like do the rabbit and the noon, but all those places when you try to join for something, they're like, oh, what's your Instagram handle? And they're like, if you don't have one, they're like, oh, sorry, we don't want you. I'm like, okay, never mind.
That was me. That was me when we met. I was like, hold on, I'll have to log on to Facebook to find you. But enough about perks. I want to hear more about this London trip. Talk a little bit about that recovery, because it seems like you didn't recover. You went to Iceland and then you flew with a red eye, and I'm sure you're going to go sightseeing.
Yep, you saw all the sites in London. I'm a planner, so I had been planning probably since I got into the London charity with Outward Bound that what I wanted to see. I wanted to see everything. You're only there for 4 days, and I wanted to see the Tower of London, the bridge, everything. I wanted to go up in the eye, and I know Eddie has a fear of heights, so I was like, if you don't want to go up, I'll go up by myself. But I would really love if he would be there. And he was like, I'll do it. And I was like, okay, perfect. So I planned this whole thing of like where we needed to go and when we needed to go. And he's my navigation. He could get us around town blindfolded. And he also has this great friend from London, Mick. Foy, who was running the London Marathon too. So he ran Boston in 2023. We were able to meet up and hang out with him in Boston. And then he was able to meet us in London and take us around as well and see like his town. And we were leaving the hotel. Mick was meeting us Friday night, Saturday morning, but we were all staying at the same hotel, so it'd be easier. So Mick could walk me to the start line so I wouldn't have to go alone and navigate the tube, because I was nervous I was going to get lost, even though he was like, just follow the runners. They'll lead you there. And I was like, oh, I get lost. I've been lost in races and ran additional miles.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So we were going to the expo, and I knew where it was. I gave Eddie the directions. He navigated the tube. We met people along the way. This wonderful, nice woman named Jen, who was from London, but lived in Boston now, came back to run the marathon. She led us to the expo and everything. Mick actually went the day before and got our bibs and t-shirts. I had to pick up my charity shirt though, and I was getting it for the charity. I could get like my name on it, which was really cool. So I did that, and then we went around to a couple of booths. First, the Boston Marathon, and I don't know this for people coming out of the country, but you can't get any of the London Marathon apparel in America.
I have found that to be true, and that's very annoying.
Wait, like you can't even order it online or pre-order?
They don't ship it to you.
They don't ship it.
But could you pre-order it and then just pick it? No?
No. I tried.
Man.
And like Mick was going to pick out stuff, but he didn't want to like pick out the wrong size. And he's like, it seems like there's a lot of stuff in your size, so go and like shop. And so that was like one of the things that we did, and I found my name on the wall because they do the wall too, which is really cool. And I was able to like try on stuff.
Did they spell it right?
They spelled it right. I'm hyping out all 6. That's like the goal, is for all 6 to spell it right. So
2 down, 4 to go.
2 down, 4 to go. Don't read out a letter. Don't add any extra letters. So I got like my jacket, which I really wanted, and just a t-shirt, some leggings, this really cool sweatshirt that had like mittens. I don't know if you have one of those for running.
Oh, cool.
Oh yeah.
I don't, but I feel like I need one now.
It has like the watch spot and thumb holes, and then these little flaps that flap over for mittens. Thought it was the coolest thing. Got one of those. Spent probably too much money on a barrel. But Boston hands out little pins for the Boston Marathon every year. So I have 2 of those. And I thought the London would do it too, but apparently they don't. So my goal was in London to get like a pin from something we did, since they didn't do that. So that was our goal. After the expo, we went and we did the tour of London via Jen. So we left the expo and we did the Tower of London, the Tower Bridge, which has like the glass floor, and we walked there.
Oh.
So we walked there. We got to go on the glass floor, which I was like super pumped. I was sitting on the floor, walked across it, ran across it, and it took a little convincing, but I was able to get Eddie to actually like walk across the glass part.
I'd like to see how he would do if you guys go to Chicago, because they have the 360 Tower and Willis Tower, which was, I think it's formerly the Sears Tower, but they have like walk out things with the clear floor, so you can just see straight down, and you're like 80 floors up. So I feel like that's not his cup of tea.
No, and he's an engineer, so he knows that it's structurally sound. Like, it's set a stand.
Yeah.
And that's the only part of the tour he was like 100% in for. We did like you tour through and you go to like the boiler room and you see all like the mechanical stuff and how the bridge works. And that was really cool. I think it cost us like 10 euros to do this. And we were like one of 5 that went up when we went up. When we came back down, there was like a line of like 200 people. And we're like, oh, we hit that at a good time.
Nice.
I told him, I was like, okay, I want to go to the Tower of London and let's get lunch. There's street carts that are like right around there too. So we did that.
Perfect.
We got really good tacos because that's my like number one meal is tacos. So we got street food tacos, did our own guided tour of the Tower of London, which was really cool. And it didn't seem overly crowded. Could go in, take all the pictures, tour everything, see the history, hear the history. We then went to see Big Ben, which we learned Big Ben is the bell. And it's the Tower Elizabeth. I learned that from a 6-year-old standing in line.
I didn't know that.
I know. I was like, they don't teach us that in America. I'm sorry.
They really don't. Nope, they don't.
Her mom was running it. We met them at the Eye in standing in line, and which was really cool. So they got my name, they got my bib, and they tracked me. And they actually saw me along the course, which was really cool. And I was able to give the 2 little girls like high fives. So I knew they were going to be at mile 4. And I was like, I'm never going to see these people again. Like,
that's so cute, though.
And these 2 cute little blonde girls. I was able to see them. They were adorable. So that was really cool. We did the Eye, which was beautiful. It was amazing. We did it at sunset. Amazing.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, didn't plan it that way, but that's how our timeline ended up working.
How high does that thing go? I know exactly what you're talking about. I want to go on it one day. I've never been over there. But that thing goes pretty high, right? It's like huge.
It goes really high, but it's slow. It's not super fast, but
it's like a 30-minute ride to do one loop.
Yeah. Yeah. It was worth it. Worth the money. We're standing in line. It started raining, and then once we got into our little tube things, it stopped
135
raining.
meters.
Oh, you Googled that.
Which is 443 feet.
There we go. Conversions.
Mathletes.
Yes.
You can say it.
Yes. On your slow days. Call me when you're running 9s.
I told you, we started at 9:30 and we got people down to 8:30. So you can join us.
I believe you'll do it. You and Nicole and Samuel will get me there. I believe it. I really do. But we'll just start at 9.
Don't wear your watch. You'll never know how fast you're really running.
Yeah, I don't look at it much anyways.
Science.
It's not working half the time lately.
Oh.
I just won't talk.
Everything in London.
I'll be able to keep up if I'm not talking. That's hard for me to do, Jennifer.
Open. Yeah. Lets me know you're alive.
All right. But yeah, no, I'll tell you, if I ever do a Worlds, I'm taking you with me just to be my tour guide and plan the trip.
Oh, I planned it like down to like everything. I knew what parks I wanted that were like in walking distance from our hotel. We went to Buckingham Palace. We missed the guard crossing and saying, but we got to see them. They like just stomp in front, which was pretty cool to see them just in their outfits and their hats and did the park. Funny thing is, when we met up with Mick, we went to the Princess Diana Park and he's like, I never knew this was a thing. I'm like, you're from here. And so we gave him a tour of a park that he'd never been to, and he thought that was
must have liked Charles more than Diana.
And he was just like, this is beautiful. I should bring my legs.
There you go. Learn
hilarious.
something new every day.
I know. One of the coolest things running for a charity was like some of the perks for running for a charity. So I did get perks. We got to run a free 5K with Red Bull. So we met at their HQ in London.
Cool.
And we got to try on like these European sunglasses, which were like a mix of like Gooders and Oakleys, and they were really cool. And then we also got free Red Bull. I love coffee and caffeine. Eddie does not drink any coffee or caffeine. And he's like, these juices are great. I was like, how many of those have you had? He's like, 2 and of each flavor so far.
Eddie, he's in for a surprise.
He had a lot of energy that day. We did the 5K. They were like, we have a fast group and a slow group. And I was like, let's do the slow group. We did the marathon tomorrow. And I want to see like where they take us. And they were doing part of the course too, which was nice. but we
Nice.
did it backwards. So that was beautiful, and it was a little bit interesting because you're running through, like, during the marathon, the roads are closed. You're running down the road, very open. Running with the 5K with the Red Bull, it was like running down like downtown Boston during like high traffic. At least it was good. They did stop frequently to make sure like everyone was with us, but they didn't know who we were. Like, we could have gotten lost.
Right.
So,
Oh,
but they were very nice, super fun people, very energized. So that was awesome. Free Red Bull was great. Met some people from Boston that were running, and they were doing the world majors. And I think they had Tokyo and Berlin left that were there. There was like 6 of them, all like local friends
Awesome.
from Boston that met in like a running group. So that was really cool to meet people. I felt like we met Boston people throughout like our tour of London and
Yeah.
Scotland. Just because Eddie always wears a Boston Red Sox hat. And then when we say Wicked, people are like, are you from Boston? Where are you from?
Yeah.
I feel
Yeah.
like that was my experience when I was out in London. Like, we would see people and be like, eh? But
Yeah.
like, we wound up
Yeah.
seeing somebody and they're like, no, we just like the Red Sox. And they were they were from London. We're like, oh, well, that's a little weird, but very cool still. And like, it's still a conversation starter.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, I don't do this as much anymore when I travel, but when I lived in Charlotte, North Carolina, I would always wear my Boston stuff. And whenever I traveled in the Charlotte area, going from like one race to the other, I would wear a Bruins or a Red Sox hat or something. And I would always get people to say hi to me in the airport. It was great. It was so much.
Mhm.
I'm going to start doing that more.
Oh, yeah. Wearing our jackets, we both wore our Boston Marathon jackets in the airport. There were so many Boston runners, like leaving the country or going to London, and that was a really cool experience. And then just wearing your jacket like around London. So I swapped my Boston one out for my London jacket once I got there, and I was just seeing all the London jackets. That lime green was the color, and you could just see it like everywhere, swarms of people throughout the city, which is, I felt like, what Boston was. And like in Boston, you just see right around that time, you see just the jackets everywhere. And then like throughout the year, you see them like sporadically, and you'll go, oh, you ran the Boston Marathon? I ran the Boston Marathon. And
love
it's
it.
like a great feeling just to have that camaraderie with somebody too.
Absolutely. So how did the race actually go for you? What was the weather like?
It was cool but sunny, so not raining.
Mhm.
And Mick, we woke up, we had breakfast together at the hotel, and he guided me through the tube so I wouldn't get lost. And London's very different on how Boston starts. So you start in like one big park, but in different areas by your color. And you all start at the same time in like waves. And then you meet up around like mile 3. All the waves, just like that's where they all collide together, which was interesting to see because I was like, oh, that's interesting. Like, okay. And London is very known for the elaborate costumes people wear, like local runners,
Yes.
charities, and they go all out. There was a guy in front of us, and I was like, I think that's a cardboard washing machine. It looks pretty legit. It was a legit washing machine on his back. He had trained for like 3 years. He was in the news. And he proposed to his girlfriend at the end. He like raised thousands and thousands of dollars, but he wore a legit washing machine. I was like,
I've seen
What?
some crazy costumes, but I think that one takes the cake. I've
Was
seen
he
like
like, will you be
the
my
running Big
dryer as he
Ben.
got down on a knee?
will you be
Yes.
my dryer?
will you be the dryer to my washer?
Oh my god.
None
Wow.
of those things- it was just like so weird. Just like, and I was like, some people were like flying in like minion costumes, a banana. There's a guy carrying a bicycle, a road bike. He had a helmet on and a bicycle. And I was just like, did he just join the marathon and like is lost? But he had a bib on. I was like, who chooses your costume and what?
This is a great race, and I've seen a bunch of people do it where if you can pick the most obscure costume, you have a really good chance of getting into the Guinness Book of World Records. There's a guy I follow on Instagram. I need to look up what his Instagram handle is, but he's in it a few times for being like the fastest person to run the London Marathon in full chainmail, like armor
Yes.
kind of thing.
Yeah.
And like such random shit, but like the creativity is incredible. I'm just blown away by these people.
The weight of some of the costumes, and like they're big and like tall. There was a guy like dressed as like Big Ben, and like
I've seen something like that where they couldn't cross the finish line because they were too long.
Yeah.
Somebody had to like help tip him over and get him under the line.
Volunteers
so
are like,
good.
bend.
So
Let
good.
go. Yeah.
If anyone wants to run dressed up as Stoolie, jump in my DMs. I'll find you a Stoolie costume.
Okay. I'll keep mentioning it to people. That want to run London in costumes.
Yep.
Oh, but it was like just so cool to be with like people from like everywhere again, because I just came off of Boston and met so many people at the start line there, and now you're meeting like you're standing in your corral, which was way different because I felt like it was less crowded. You're in a field, not super packed, and you could hear music from like different areas. Ours was very mellow. I feel like we either did not have a DJ, like they didn't show up, or they were like very relaxed.
Oh.
But you could hear like down the line, I feel like all the people in the costumes like, like getting ready for the race. I was like, oh God, they're jamming. Like a tower like got more serious to like be serious runners down the line. But there was crowd of people, like, and everybody, because Nike had just put out the Alpha Flies. Everybody had Alpha Flies on, and that's what everybody was talking to you about, was like Alpha Flies this and Alpha Flies that. And I was like, I haven't even tried them. I'm running in shoes that are like $60. Paper Flyknits from like 2018. They're great.
Love it. Love it.
They're not running. And I was like, but I do want to try them and see like what the difference is. But yeah, I was like, yeah, look at my little shoes.
I
You gotta
that.
love what you run in. That's all that matters. As long as
Yeah.
you're comfortable, and if, like Eric says, look good, feel good.
Yep. I did get
Yes.
Alpha Flies. I tried them on in London. Amazing shoe. Running them twice. Tammy let me try on her pair because we're just about the same size. And I was like, oh, I will spend the money. I want to see what the difference is. And I do love my barefoot running shoes, but they just like the push they give you. Oh, a little extra. I do want to prove myself that I can run like under back at 314 in my regular Flyknits and not the Alpha Flies, but I'm also like very tempted to be like, these just make me feel so good after
You gotta do it for science. You just gotta test them out.
No free ads, Nike.
I know. So
Just
yes.
picked up 10 minutes off your marathon. Not a big deal.
I'm like, what kind of, like, make me slower? I'm a little nervous, but we're gonna train throughout this training for Chicago. And but
There you go.
one thing that was amazing, they say the Boston crowds are spectacular and really motivate you. Those London crowds, let me tell you, they have marching bands. They have like a whole pride parade on the side. Like, it was insane. They had people just like bring out their own drum sets in their yard. They have like just people are hanging on their balconies because you run through like so many boroughs of London. Everyone was themed differently. You could definitely tell like the different cultures of them and like the neighborhoods. It was awesome.
Yeah.
The streets are a little bit wider. I felt like they were. You do kind of loop around, so Eddie was able to navigate and see me in 4 different spots
That's
throughout
cool.
the race. And we found like the tube wasn't super crowded when we just traveled on ourselves. He did say it was a little bit crowded throughout, but everyone was going to the same place. So you just all got on and it was free for that day. So it was like everyone's trying to go through to see their loved ones and their friends and trying to get to multiple spots, which was amazing. Just being able to see him and knowing that I had that support there. I did wave him off a few times. Like, I don't need that. Hello. He's sending me like gels and stuff. I'm like, I did really good. He's like, good. Like, my legs felt great. My toenail fell off the night before, so it was perfect. And I just felt really good. Like, my stomach felt good. My legs felt good. I was smiling, just enjoying it. The charity Outward Bound was in 2 different spots throughout the race. So giving them high fives, looking for them. I saw a couple people in the same singlet as myself for Outward Bound. So I tried to like, hey, not morning running people. They were definitely afternoon running people.
Bummer. Yeah.
But finishing, it was amazing. You come in front of Buckingham Palace. The one thing I regret was there was a guy at the last mile 25, and he's handing out donuts. Tacos, donuts, those are my two favorite things. I wish I got a donut so bad. Just to have a donut. Because I slowed myself down just to enjoy that last mile. I knew I was making my time that I wanted. I was like, why didn't I grab that donut? But
Regret.
That could be a good code brown commandment. Always grab the donut.
Grab the donut. Always grab the donut.
I like that. Yeah.
Yes. It was just beautiful. London just seems so clean. It was sparkly. I don't know if they just cleaned it for the runners, if it's like that all the time. Hi, kitty.
That's amazing. Yeah.
But it was so beautiful.
We might get a cat
Blocking
butthole.
it. Nope. I was blocking it. I'm not letting that happen again. She's a lady. She's not a scooter.
Not that kind of podcast.
We might be.
But London, beautiful, clean. Because I raised so much money for Outward Bound, I won a seat in the grandstand. So Eddie got to go in the grandstand at the finish and see me come across too. So he said that was really cool. They had waters and snacks and stuff.
Where
for
were
us.
the dogs?
We have an amazing dog walker, Chloe, who stayed with them. And Eddie's parents also helped watch them. They love her so much. She's so good with them. If you're looking for a dog walker in Andover, Massachusetts, Chloe, she's amazing.
Good to know.
But don't take her because we need her for all the times that we need to go away. But yeah, they were safe. He was amazing. Eddie was great being there. And then Mick finished right
And
before
he didn't
me.
bandit the race?
He did not bandit that race. So, speaking of that, I had asked him when I got into the charity fight with that. And I was like, do you want me to see if you want to run for the charity too? He's like, no, I'm studying. I have a lot of work for work. And I was like, okay. And I didn't really push it. I kind of asked him again later. And he was like, no, because when it was getting closer to my charity event, I knew they still had a couple bibs. And I was like, I know I can raise enough money in this one event. And
For the two of you.
For the two of us. And he was like, no, I just want to go and I want to support you and enjoy it. We're in the airport, on the plane to London. He was like, you know what? I really wish I was running London with you. And I was like,
Of course you do.
do you want me to call Izzy now? See if we can just do an anonymous donation of $4,000. And he was like, no, I'll just watch. And I was like, all right. And then we're at dinner the night before with Mick, and Mick asked him the same thing. Why didn't you run? You could have done the charity. And he was like, no, forget. I thought about it later, and it was too late. And I was like, it wasn't too late because people were still getting in. I got another runner, Justin, in with Outward Bound, so he could run London too, a month before it. So I was like, it was not too late. We could have run it, but we're gonna go back to London so he can do it whenever he wants to.
There you
Cool.
go. There you go.
So that's the goal. Yes,
Well,
but
I'm
I'll
so
let him
glad you-
plan. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, I'm so glad you had a better run than that Boston, because just being so sick and miserable, I know that just wasn't the day you had hoped for, but you kind of had the redemption you wanted during London.
Oh, yeah. And it was kind of opposite. I wanted to run London 4 hours because I was like, I don't know how I'm going to feel. Flying in Boston, I was like, my goal was 3:20. I finished London 3:21. So it was just opposite of my
Beautiful.
plan. And they were both amazing marathons, and I had a great time doing it. I would do it all over again, but hope for better Boston.
Right.
But I'm looking forward to Chicago and hoping that one goes really well. Training this summer in the heat might help with my digestion and just getting my body acclimated to warmer weather for a warmer race, and pray that it's raining
Definitely.
and 50 degrees in Chicago that day.
Well, I've done Chicago a few times now, and one year was wicked hot, but the previous years after that, it's been nice and cool. A light sprinkle one year. It was perfect running weather. So I am hoping that I can bestow that kind of weather on
Yes.
you, and it's
Bring that
perfect
goodness
for
to
you.
me.
All the
Yes.
summer training will pay off, though.
Yeah. I'm going out with my friend Jody from high school. She started running, and she's been, I feel like every race, she's like, PR. So she's getting under 4 hours for a marathon. She's running for a great charity, and I don't know which one she's running for, but two of the girls from the Mathletes, Jenna and Olivia, are also running Chicago, and they're going out with
Excellent.
their boyfriends. So we're all going to try to meet up. Jody and I are staying together and flying in together and everything. So we're going to do like a mini girls weekend out there.
So fun.
So it'll be interesting for both Jody and I because our support systems won't be there. So we have to like support each other through the marathon and at the finish line. So that's going to be my goal is to get there, support each other, and hoping that we can make it through to the finish and be able to see each other there and then go back to our hotel and party.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys will have a wonderful time. Just the crowd support in Chicago is awesome too. I mean, you're hitting them all, like all the good ones. You had Boston. You know the crowds are great in Boston. London, the crowds are amazing. And then Chicago is going to be more of the same. So they're going to carry you. You're going to have a blast. I really hope you enjoy it. That out of all the majors, Chicago is my favorite.
Oh,
so
okay.
I want to see, I like seeing what other people think about the majors. So you'll have to let me know.
Definitely let you know. Yeah. Sammy said New York was like one of her favorites. She said similar to London, like each borough had its own like theme and band. And I'm hoping to run New York next year. Sammy's mom does a charity, and we're trying to get all the mathletes to run New York together.
That would be
do a
cool.
big mathlete marathon.
We'll have to
in
make
New
custom
York.
I love
t-shirts.
Yes.
it.
Well, Jenna Friedis and Kelly, if you're looking to logo anything, they have their own branding company. So they are definitely interested in making us a marathon mathlete t-shirt to
How
wear.
cool is that?
Yes.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. I'll sponsor it if you put Stoolie on the back. We're putting
Okay.
Stoolie like right behind the neck. We're calling it a sneaky Stoolie because if you have
Ooh.
long hair or hoodie, it kind of covers it.
Won't
But
bounce.
sometimes he'll just pop out of there like, oh, hey.
You could do what Boston did with their sweatshirts from 2023, and you put the unicorn on the sleeve.
Yep.
Mm.
Very
Little
cool.
Stoolie on the sleeves.
Well,
No
I'm
Stoolie
excited
Yoda.
to hear how your training goes this summer. Maybe I'll get out with you one of those Saturdays. The hot heat, you'll work on, like you said, the digestive issues. So if you have a code brown, you know who to call. But that leads me into my big question. I have the code brown commandments, a list I'm building up. I said, like, one could totally be always grab the donut. But you listen to the pod, I think you know what I'm talking about. An oh crap moment. Is there any running advice you could give to our listeners for our code brown commandments? Some examples are like, don't trust a fart, or diaper rash cream cures chafing overnight. What's something you learned that you could contribute to the code brown commandments for us?
Hemorrhoids suck for a runner. Definitely start the cream early. That one. They're the worst. And yeah, always grab the donut is a good one. And it could be a donut steeped. It could be a donut that you eat. You
I
choose
Avoid
your
those
own.
hemorrhoids.
I think this works out. You're going to get both because the cream could go with lube. It could be like, thou shall always use extra lube / cream. And then thou shall always grab the donut.
Yes. It's your choice what donut you grab.
Strawberry frosted with the sprinkles.
Ooh, I'm a classic chocolate glazed myself.
I do like chocolate
I will.
glazed.
I will not say no to any donuts. So
You know,
I do not discriminate.
a sneaky one I really like, I don't get enough just because it's messy, is a jelly donut.
Ooh, the
jelly
the
donuts.
grape nut one, like with the crunchies on the outside. That's a good one.
Oh, what are they? Butternut, I think. it is,
Butternut,
right?
yes.
Mm. a big-
Valentine's Day, Eddie surprised me with a half a dozen donuts at the bar. He came in, so I was working Valentine's Day, so we weren't going to celebrate on Valentine's Day. And he surprised me with a half a dozen donuts. And his thing is Legos, so I had ordered him obviously I take a ton of pictures. And so I did a collage of us in Legos, and he had to build it.
Oh my
And
God.
You take a
was-
ton of photos, but you're not on Instagram.
I know. I just didn't want to have to like be on different social media. My Facebook is for like family and like close friends, and it kind of helps me stay motivated. I feel like if I was trying to post, like I even took like a step back from like Snapchat. I really don't even use that anymore. I used Snapchat a lot when my mom was like in the hospital to like send her funny things when she was going through chemo, and like she used it to like stay in touch with like my cousins with their kids. And I was like, I don't really use Snapchat anymore. I won't get rid of it because I still like connect with people. But Facebook, I convinced my mom to get Facebook, so it was easy to stay connected.
Yeah.
And she could see like my life instead of me texting her a picture here and there. So I like posting it, but I'm like, I don't need another form of social media tying
Yeah.
me down. I'll be honest,
True.
I don't even watch TV anymore. During COVID, I was like, I'm on the computer all the time with my job. I don't need to like watch TV. So I try to take like, I went from like October through March and didn't watch TV. That was like, well, I was like, let's just get through October and March. Like there's enough going on with holidays and stuff going on that I don't need to watch TV. And I was running.
Mhm.
And then it's just kind of a thing. Like if I want to watch a movie or something, I'll watch it. I only have Amazon Prime now because I was sneaking onto my parents' Netflix and they got rid of Netflix and then I didn't have it anymore. So I was like, well, I can't watch any of those shows.
Yep.
So I try to do like Audible, tried to learn the ukulele.
Oh, that's a
Don't
fun
ask
hobby.
me to play. It is
Oh.
not good.
No worries. No worries.
And then I was like, you know what? I need to try to learn something new. COVID, I learned how to braid my hair. Never knew how to braid my hair. I used to pay a girl on my field hockey team in high school 50 cents to braid my hair for games. I can now braid my hair. I just
There we
donated,
go.
chop off 2 feet of hair, but getting back to it. But I was like, this year I'm gonna learn to crochet.
I love crocheting. That was my project last year.
I did the
It's-
tie fleece blankets, and I was like, that was super easy. Gave every single family member a fleece blanket for Christmas. Made candles. That was super easy. Crocheting is the hardest thing I've ever done in my life.
So I can't say I really crochet. I just like making those little like animals, the amigurumi or something or whatever they're called. Like I started with the Woobles kit, and they're the fun, like
Ooh, I
so
think we're
fun.
gonna get show and tell.
I tried to hold like some yarn, and mine was poop brown.
Oh,
There we go. See,
are
I
you
can't
making us
do
a
that
stoolie
so
hat?
much.
A
And I was
stoolie
like,
sweater?
I'm just gonna practice like just seeing like if I can do it. But I have this dinosaur to make, and I was gonna make it for my sister for her birthday in August. And I said, I'm not gonna be able to do this. I was trying to make
You'll
the
be
video.
surprised once you
I
get the
couldn't-
hang of it.
Oh my god! I was like, I'm practicing at work, and my coworker's like, I love the color. So texting me, speaking to me, like, oh, you're just really bad.
Oh, practice makes perfect. Just keep doing them. And what's cool with crocheting is a lot of times you can like make something, and if you don't like it, you just unravel the
That's what
entire
I keep
thing.
doing.
Yeah, you're fine. I love
I'll
it.
let you know how crocheting goes, but here's your little stoolings.
It's actually that's pretty perfect. Like it is like poop shape.
It's so bad. But I'm gonna make a dinosaur for my sister for her birthday, and we'll see how it goes.
Excellent.
It might just be like, here's some yarn, you do it.
I bought you a kit. Have fun.
That might be what it is. I might try and be like, nope, you get the kit. That's on you.
All right, Jen, I gotta cut in and ask you my final question.
Yes.
So we have that excellent Spotify playlist, and we like to invite our guests to add a song to it. So
It's
is there
excellent
a song
because
that's
of my songs, by the way.
Okay.
everybody's song has a place on there, so don't.
Well, I'm just
don't
saying
discredit
between
everybody.
you and me, Erica, it's excellent because of my songs, my 12.
Sure, whatever you want. But is there any song that you're feeling at the moment that just gets you pumped up and ready to run?
Oh yeah. When I worked for a recruiting agency on Fridays, we had to like say our sales numbers, and
Mhm.
they picked like a song for you, and somebody picks like your song at first for you, and the song they picked was "Run Like a Rebel" by The Score. And so every time I would write my numbers on the board, that song would be playing, and you'd have to hit a bell and everything if you hit over a
Oh.
certain amount. But "Run Like a Rebel" was like my sales song, which became like my song that would like, if I wasn't feeling like running, I would play that song while I was getting ready to run. And then if it comes on like on my Pandora or whatever, I was like, oh, this is such a great run now. It's like amazing. So
Perfect.
The Score, "Run Like a Rebel." I do like all the Score songs. They're just very like, you need to like motivate and get running. And then Zade Wolf, I think that's the name of the artist. He has a lot of good songs that he plays throughout like my Score like Pandora list. But "Run Like a Rebel" is probably
Awesome.
the one like if I hear it, I'm gonna run that day or run faster through that song, and making the
Nice.
run like 100% better, even if it was like already at 100 out, like 110.
Perfect. I love having songs like that just are like, all right, I am like 10% more motivated to go do this. Like, let's go.
Oh yeah. It'll be like the song that I always post, like, especially if I didn't want to go out for a run, if I put a
Mhm.
song like to my story on Facebook, it'll be Run Like a Rebel.
Awesome. That is your song.
Well, let me tell you, we are at 1 hour, 56 minutes, and I want to hit 2 hours. What the heck? Why not? I have 2 more questions. Like I told you, I did my digging. I asked some friends of ours, give me the dirt. And like I said, none of them had any dirt. They're like, she's so amazing. She's awesome. There's no dirt. I'm like, just give me some insider tips. And so I got 2 things from 2 different people. One is running, one is not. So first, you are certified in Reiki.
Yes, I am.
Ooh.
I got certified in Reiki through a friend at Planet Fitness, and she was starting her own company, and I love doing yoga, and I don't practice yoga in a studio anymore. It got very expensive, so I just practice at home, try to do my 15 to 30 minutes in the morning and evening. And she was telling me all about Reiki. My aunt Denise is actually certified in Reiki and also teaches yoga, and I was like, I would love to learn more. So I went to her like course every weekend for several months, and I got Reiki 1, Reiki 2, and my Reiki Master certification. And at Planet Fitness, I would actually like practice on my staff. Like they were very into it, very like holistic and wanted the energy. I had a lot of staff like going through a lot of like family trauma or just mental health and like trying to get into like a better life. And my goal as a manager wasn't to like manage them, but I really wanted to coach them and like help them along the way. And this, we would like
Mhm.
meditate. We talk about just like what's going on, and we'd practice Reiki. They let me like help them, and which helps me like be a better practitioner. And it was amazing. And then I never like charged anyone for it, like never wanted to make it like a business. I just like, if people want to do it, I'll do it with them. If you don't believe in it, that's 100% you. I'm not going to push it on anyone, but I love it. When I practice my yoga, I try to do like, it was within the chakras, trying to hit like every chakra through the 7, doing Reiki as I do my yoga in the morning and evening, and just helps me get grounded for the day, and then helps me like zen out for the evening before bed, too. So if you know what it is, it's just like energy, and it's just really, it's nice and relaxes you. Is
I
basically
think that's
what
awesome.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Excellent.
Shout out to me for pronouncing it right, by the way. Pat myself on the back.
Good job. I knew what you were talking about.
Last one. I know you are doing Reach the Beach this year, and you are on quite. Look at it. I couldn't even pronounce Reach the Beach correctly. I got Reiki right. Couldn't do Reach the Beach.
You're so
Baby
good.
steps, baby steps.
I thought Lindsay and Pterodactyl were not going to get me. Now they can get me on that. You are going to be on a pretty elite Reach the Beach team this year. You talked about your training for Chicago and other things coming up, but you did not mention your elite team for Reach the Beach.
Oh, yeah. So I'm doing an all-female ultra Reach the Beach. So I've done an ultra Reach the Beach before, and it was a fun Reach the Beach. That's how I met Eddie. This is an all-female. It's Nicole, Justine, Sammy, and myself. And I don't know who Justine and Nicole have recruited onto our team, but I'm really looking forward to it. If they still need some runners, I have some people in mind that I've been trying to convince as well, from the mathletes and other crew of runners that I know. But I'm ready to run. When I did the ultra last time, I did about 52, 56 miles that year. We had an injured runner along the course, so I had to pick up time-wise and miles-wise, and in the middle of the night, I was doing back-to-back 14 and 15 miles that year, and I'm hoping that this year's a little bit more fun. And not doing 2 half marathons basically back-to-back, and the miles will be split up a little bit better. And I know the girls that we're running with are just, they're running, they're training, and we're going to have a great time, and I'm just hoping the weather is better than last year. Last year, we couldn't even finish at the beach. It was at this high school.
That's right.
So it was Reach the high school. And also, I couldn't even finish with my team, which was okay because I got to celebrate the beautiful marriage of my friend Kylie and Andy to end that weekend. So Eddie and I were on different teams, per usual. And we had to meet up at the end of our last legs to then take a van to drop us off at our cars, which we had pre-parked at my coworker Campo's house at Hampton Beach, and then drive to Massachusetts to a brewery to watch my friend Andy and Kylie get married. And we were like on zero sleep within 36 hours, and we luckily showered both the time. That's really nice. But this year, no plans that weekend besides reach the beach, so it's going to be great. Eddie's on a team through the Borderline Running Club in Andover, and they are the party team. If you see them, they usually have Bud Light and Fireball and are ready to party with you along the course.
My kind of people.
What's your team name?
I know she has a name, and she's told me, and I apologize to Justine Nicole. I do not remember.
Well, you guys can keep me posted, but if you see the Ultra Penguins out there, come say hi.
Hey. All right.
You can't miss us. There's penguins everywhere.
I love it. I want to do like a costume or at least a t-shirt for our team. Last year I tried to run in like a different outfit for the race. It was I was Forrest Gump on
awesome.
one of my legs, and another man that was Forrest Gump jumped out of a moving van to come take a selfie with me and jumped back in his van. He's like,
I love it. Oh.
And then I was a snowflake.
That's the spirit of Reach the Beach there in a sentence.
Yep. I was a snowflake. I was in like a lit tutu with lights and everything, and that was really fun. And then I wore my Boston Marathon outfit for a leg because my friend Taylor and her youngest kids missed me in Boston in 2023, and 2024 hadn't happened yet. And we run through Chester, which is their hometown. And I had to switch legs because I had mapped it out, but Reach the Beach kept switching the legs last year around. So I had to switch a leg, which I thought I was only going to run 3 miles. And I ended up having to run 8 miles so I could pass them to give them high fives and see their beautiful Boston Marathon sign. And of course, that was the only leg of the race that it was down.
Oh no.
And so I switched with my friend Eileen, so she didn't have to run 8, and I ran 8 and she ran 3. And she's like, "Thank you for running in the rain." I was like, "Oh, you're so welcome." It was worth it to see those little smiles.
There you go.
You give them hugs, and yes, it was great. So I would do it again and again for them.
Hopefully this year will be a lot less miles, but still as fun because you got an awesome team, and hopefully it does actually finish at the beach.
I know. Finishing at the beach is the best. Besides last year, I finished the sand run. And that's like one of my favorite runs. I lifeguarded at Hampton Beach through college, so I used to running on the sand from back then. And it's just fun to come in to the music, and everybody's so happy to be there. And yeah, it's always a great time.
All the memories.
Well, this was a great time. It was a long time, but it was perfect. Oh my God, this was so much fun. Anything you want to send us off with before? Where can people find you? Or you said Facebook's for family, so we're just going to keep it that way, family and me, because I know we're Facebook buddies now.
It's Jennifer Jane on Facebook. I'll look over your Facebook to make sure I want to be friends with you.
You got to be vetted, yeah.
If you have like friends in common, but I do welcome just about anybody into my Facebook world. Like I said, smile, support, motivate, inspire, love yourself, and empower. And if you want to watch me run and watch my dogs, that's basically all I post about. So apologize for Oakley crying. He's cried himself to sleep now.
Oh, poor buddy.
I love Oakley. I want to meet Oakley. Oh, I love dogs. I miss my girl. So, hi, Oakley.
Like, you woke me up, Mom.
Mark that clip.
Yeah. It's funny. This was wonderful. Thank you so much.
This was amazing.
Yeah.
Like, it was so cool to meet you. And that was the first time I met Sammy too in February. And then we saw each other again at the 20 miler. And I remember you and I were talking for most of that 3, 4, 5 mile run we did for Justine. And you were like, "I'm doing this and I'm doing that." And I'm like, "You gotta find time to jump on the pod," and we got you. We finally got you. This is so much fun. I can't wait. One day I'll run with you in the mathletes. It'll be a lot of fun.
Or Chicago.
All right,
or after Chicago, and then we can talk about Chicago.
We could do that.
All of us running Chicago, so it could be like all of us together.
We should bring back, I know we've talked about it, and I know it's hard, but we used to do something last year called OTR Live. Now, I know you said you were nervous before. I think you're pretty comfortable, but we would live stream on YouTube and talk to friends of the pod. So they had to have been a guest before and tell us about a race they just ran. And it's just strictly about that race. All right, maybe we
Ooh.
do it for Chicago. Maybe we bring you
Okay.
back.
No
Okay.
If you're
need
up
to be
for it,
nervous. There's
live-
only like 6 people who watch it.
6, that's being nice.
Well, that was before. That was before when we
Hey,
would.
I'm gonna put it
live
all over
stream,
my
so.
Facebook now. Just wait. You're gonna
Oh,
blow
well,
up on
now
my
you're gonna get like 2. Now you're gonna get the 2 point whatever thousand and really be eating your words.
Well, it makes me less nervous. I have a big presentation at work next week, so now I feel ready.
Good,
You are
good.
ready.
Get all
Love
the nervous energy out now.
Yeah.
Where you'll be fine.
Yes, and if you ever want a Reiki session, Reiki yoga, or a running session, let me know. Down for anything. And only those 3 things, though. Or eating donuts and tacos.
Perfect.
You said anything.
I don't want this pod to turn into something weird.
As long as it's donuts and tacos. There you go.
Yeah. And coffee. Yes. Coffee, donuts, tacos. Those are my
Well-
3 favorite things.
Well, this was a lot of fun. Thank you so much for coming on, everyone. I
you.
hope you enjoyed this wonderful 2 hours and 7 minutes of Jennifer Ouellette. That was
Thank you.
awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jennifer, for talking on the pod about Eddie and all your dogs and all your running experiences.
Yay! Awesome job, Adeline. Jennifer was awesome. That was so much fun. Jennifer, thank you so much. And thanks for your patience. I know I was like, we'll get you on. And it took a few months. It takes everyone. I've just scheduled somebody, Adeline, in September. Crazy. All right, Adeline, I want to show you something because a box just came in the mail. Actually, Bill dropped it off. It didn't even come in the mail. Bill dropped it off. But a while ago, like I'm talking a while ago, I reached out to our patrons. If you guys want to join us on Patreon and be a friend of the pod or supporter of the pod, go on Patreon and you can pay $4 or $9, or apparently you can make a custom. We just have a new Patreon and you can do a custom. You can pick your own price per month. I didn't know that. That's awesome. All right, so I ordered some hoodies, and all our patrons had the chance to get one. A few of them jumped up at the opportunity. Adeline, look at this thing. Look at this beautiful hoodie. Here, hold the microphone.
Okay.
Okay, tell everyone what color it is.
I mean, it's like a grayish blue.
That's right. It says on the runs above the heart.
When you flip the hoodie, you see something that we call a pretty sneaky stoolie.
Check it out, sneaky stoolie. So when the hood is back, stoolie's covered. But when you throw the hood up, stoolie's there, and we're calling it sneaky stoolie. Stoolie is awesome. So cool. Yeah, it came out amazing. So the people who are patrons who wanted the hoodie, they came in finally. I know, like, it's been wicked hot out, so it'll be great for fall, guys. Sorry it wasn't here in time for like those nice spring days, but it'll be here for those cool fall days. And I got more t-shirts too that came in. I'm excited.
Okay.
Tell everyone the news. You can legit tell them the news of what is coming up for you. You are going to go somewhere really cool and get to be part of something really awesome. You can give them all the details. There is no hiding. There is no contracts we had to sign. Tell everyone where you're going, what you're going to do, and that they can even come and watch you if they want to buy a ticket.
Okay. Well, yes. Wait, yeah.
It was yesterday.
Yeah, yesterday I was in the line for Starbucks and
What were you getting at Starbucks? Oh my God. Okay, no, skip Starbucks. Just tell us what you found out.
well, when I was in the line for Starbucks, my mom was looking on her phone and she got an email from I don't know the name, but an email from someone probably in New York because it's based on New York. And well, we kind of auditioned to go to New York Fashion Week in New York. Yeah, I already said New York 1,000 times, but yeah, she got an email for me to be in New York Fashion Week. And
Oh my God. This is amazing.
and it's going to be in 1.5 months that I'm going to be going to Fashion Week in New York. I cannot wait. I'm going to be there for 2 days.
She's going to walk down the fancy catwalk aisle with outfits on and showing them off. And Scott, I hope she'll still have her hockey teeth because it will be so adorbs.
I mean, yeah, it's pretty exciting that I'm in New York Fashion Week. I mean, this is maybe even bigger. Well, maybe the same exact amount of big as the TV show that I'm in. So it's really big for me. I've been wanting to be on the runway ever since I was really little. So I think this is really big for me.
To give you an idea of how big the TV show she got to be part of, if she's saying this is just as big as the TV show, that's one pretty big TV show, I think, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, that was fun. Adeline, thank you so much for being a co-host with me today. Guys, next week, Erica and I should be back. No, wait. Yes, we should be back for the normal Tros. And in her contract, she has to do more Tros all the way until the December holiday break. So we'll be back next week. We got a lot to catch up on. A lot has happened during our 4 weeks off. I hope you guys have enjoyed the best ofs and the OTR classics. I hope last week you enjoyed pretty much the ultra badass lady episode of Erica and Michaela doing their, look at Adeline's eyes there. I'll post that clip of doing their ultra marathons. It was great. We still been working. We've had some amazing guest appearances the last couple of weeks. So we'll be back next week on Tuesday with a normal pod. Erica, I'm not going to, just clip in what you normally say. Adeline's going to say it. Guys, you're awesome. Thank you so much for being huge supporters of the pod. We got some exciting things to come. So as you always know, don't fear the code brown. And Adeline, take us home, girl.
We love you, and don't forget to stretch, which I'm going to do right now.
3, 2, 1, yeah!
All right, here we go. You ready? Oh, wait. Go in that room, grab my hat. That's on the floor. Orange hat. Thank you. And I look cool. Do I look cool? Sure.
Sure.
Okay, you got to get closer and you got to talk more in the mic when I talk to you. So here we go. Hey, do you think I look cool?
Kind of.
Kind of. I'm a cool looking dad. Cool dad.